This morning, passing the president's huge spending and tax cut bill. House Speaker Mike Johnson.
We did our job, rolled up our sleeves, got it done. We're really proud of that.
Johnson says the margin could have been a bit better, but instead of voting, a couple of Republicans dozed off.
So it looks like a razor-thin margin, 215 to 214 and one present. It was really 217, okay? We all put a footnote somewhere in history on that thing. They're both going to go on record saying that's how they would have voted if they got the card in time.
Now the bill goes to the Senate. 2 Israeli embassy aides are dead. A 30-year-old Chicago man is in custody following a shooting last evening outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in Washington, D.C. Police and witnesses say the suspect shouted, "Free Palestine," following the attack. Israel's ambassador to the U.S. says the victims had big dreams, hopes for a bright future.
The young man purchased a ring this week with the intention of proposing to his girlfriend next week in Jerusalem. They were a beautiful couple who came to enjoy an evening in Washington's Cultural Center.
The victims have been identified as Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser.
The horrific incident is going to frighten a lot of people in our city and in our country. And I want to be clear that we will not tolerate this violence or hate in our city.
On social media, President Trump writes that hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA. Small plane has crashed in a San Diego neighborhood, a direct hit on multiple homes, according to authorities in San Diego. Wall Street this morning, the Dow futures down 176 points, NASDAQ futures off 35 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
You heard the news. Newsmax just went public on the New York Stock Exchange and listed on the big board. Millions of Americans like you are joining our news revolution. Reuters Institute says Newsmax is one of the top 12 news brands in America. Even President Trump says it's terrific. 40 million Americans go to Newsmax, and its audience grew 50% since the same time last year. Millions really are making the switch to Newsmax. If you want to be a Newsmax share owner, call your advisor or get more info at newsmaxinvest.com. Stand with Newsmax today for a strong America. This communication is for informational purposes only and shall not be intended to or shall not constitute any offer to buy or sell securities, nor shall there be any sale of securities in any jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful.
An abortion-related bill heads to the Texas governor's desk.
The changes would not expand access to abortion in Texas or list specific medical exceptions under the state's near-total ban. It took effect in 2022 and only allows for an abortion to save the life of the mother. It also would not include exceptions for rape or incest. The bill would specify that doctors cannot face criminal charges for performing an abortion in a medical emergency that causes major bodily impairment. It also defines a life-threatening condition as one capable of causing death. Under the ban, doctors in Texas can be fined up to $100,000 and face up to 99 years in prison if convicted of performing an abortion illegally. I'm Ed Donahue.
Iran and the United States will hold talks tomorrow in Rome, their 5th round of negotiations over Tehran's rapidly expanding nuclear program, although Tehran is insisting no one's going to stop it from enriching uranium. Breaking news analysis, townhall.com. Well, despite all of the challenges, these really are amazing times, offering views of wonders unseen by past generations.
NASA's Perseverance rover has been collecting samples at an ancient lake bed and river delta on Mars. It's in the habit of sending selfies to its team back on Earth, and the latest captured an unexpected guest, a Martian dust devil. Perseverance is covered with red dust in the picture. That's the result of drilling into dozens of rocks over the past 4 years. And in a composite of 59 images from the camera on the end of the rover's arm, a twirling dust devil pops up a few miles behind the rover. The Jezero crater rock samples will eventually be sent back. I'm Ben Thomas.
Recapping the hour's lead story, President Trump's massive spending and tax cut bill is now on its way to the Senate. After winning House approval this morning, the vote 215 to 214, one lawmaker voting present. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel wishing, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy, almost there, folks.
Oh, yes.
Thursday.
More than halfway there. We are more than living on a prayer.
That's right. Almost there, Thursday. My wife informed me it was movie day for the kids.
Yep. Squeak, 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 squeak.
So,
you know what's funny, though? I had this thought the other day, because we've made the reference to the wheeling into the TV cart. One of the movies that, and I don't know if you ever was made to watch this, but one of the movies that we watched in school was, and it wasn't the Leo DiCaprio adaptation, but it was an adaptation of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, we watched one that predated.
Yeah, it was like, I want to say like maybe 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure our English teacher forgot that there's a pretty steamy scene halfway through the movie, because all of a sudden things are starting to get kind of hot and heavy on the screen, and I think it was in 10th grade at the time, and you hear a fumble on the desk because she's looking for the remote so she could fast forward through. She's like, hold on.
Oops.
Hold on.
Turn your eyes.
Hold on. Okay, we're good.
Avert your eyes.
But here, she had to fast forward it to know where she was going, so every boy in my class was like,
right,
just trying to watch the fast forwardy parts.
Getting their mental pictures.
See if we can get just a hint of nip.
What's that one movie where the guy's like, I'm taking mental pictures. Blinking.
Click, 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 click,
Yeah.
click, click, click.
But yes, it is. We're a day, hours away, really. I mean, from school year ending here, kids.
Yep.
Graduations starting tonight. University High, we will have coverage of that for folks that are out of town on ksvptv.com. But if you're local, support your kids out there graduating.
Right.
So, but well, and then of course we'll have the other graduations Friday, Saturday as well too.
My son is graduating kindergarten today.
Nice.
This morning. Be sneaking out a little bit early just to check that out.
Nice.
But yeah, so I haven't done the math to see what class of he is. I'd have to, because he's going into first grade. It's
Right.
2025, so that means there's still 12 left.
Yeah.
So congratulations to the class of 2037.
There
God
he is.
willing, we'll all still be here.
What do they usually do at a kindergarten graduation?
It's really kind of just the same thing. The principal will get up and talk for a minute, talk about accomplishments of the students.
They don't wear like little caps and gowns or nothing, do they?
I think they do.
Do they?
I think. Well, if
I didn't know they made them that big.
so, during he's already been through so many graduations. During his pre-K graduation, they provided a gold cap and gown.
Yeah.
They just told the kids to dress nice.
Okay.
So we
I
got.
didn't know if they made like tiny caps and gowns for kindergartners or not. So
What are these caps and gowns for ants? Yeah, they do.
or it's just a bunch of sexy graduate Halloween costumes.
I want to take Mike on the bittersweet journey of all the things they make in kids' sizes. Starts with shoes, caps, and gowns, and it ends in coffins. Told you it was bittersweet.
It got dark.
But yeah, no. So I think they provide them with cap and gown. I'm pretty sure. Well, once I get there, I'll know.
Yeah, I don't recall having one, but again, I was a kid.
We were told to dress nice too under our gowns as well, but I'm like, what's the point?
Really all you got to cover is the pants.
Yeah.
And then like around here area. So if you got like a tuxedo shirt, t-shirt,
right,
and,
you're good to go.
And, yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I was wearing a white shirt, white button-down shirt, tie, khakis, the whole thing.
Yeah.
I was respectful.
I recall the same thing. Wearing I don't think we had wore a tie, but I remember wearing a button-up and slacks of some sort. I think they had to be a certain color. Now that I think about it, I think they had to be black or something because right. You couldn't just go khaki or anything. And I can't remember.
And then I went over to the McDonald's because I worked there at the time and I wanted to show off.
See?
There you go. See, I made it.
He pulled the move from Half Bank. Like you, cool. I'm out.
No, but the other time I did something stupid and showy when I worked there was Valentine's Day, and this was like right the first year of my college. So this was like 2003 is when this happened, Valentine's Day. Myself and my buddy rented a limo for my girlfriend and his date at the time. And we were going to, kind of live it up. But the first thing we did was took the limo through the McDonald's drive-thru so I could show it off to all my coworkers. It was an awkward pull-through, by the way.
Imagine the guy's like, really?
It didn't fit well.
These aren't built for drive-thru.
And this was before they had the double-lane drive-thru, too. This was like, single-lane, old-school McDonald's.
The limo driver's just cursing you under his breath.
Yeah, he's like, I hate you stupid
people when they get money.
Retrofit.
Of course, he may own the limo, too, so I don't know.
Yeah, I think he worked for a company.
Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Like I figure around here, if you have a limo, usually the guy that owns the company is probably driving it or two. And in my head, I'd love to have because I've never rented a limo because I haven't.
You got to. It's good.
But
it's a gas man.
In my head, I really would like to have like a dude like from Crocodile Dundee that ends up being like your partner in crime and everything.
Right. He helps me through various shenanigans.
Yeah.
No, we didn't have that. I do remember the other thing about the limo was that I made a CD, like I mixed a CD of
nice.
Nice
epitome of.
Oh, dude, I was cheese ball. You think it's bad now? Yeah, it was way worse. But anyways,
all it's missing is the boom box on the shoulder in front of the window.
Well, the CD player was broken.
Yeah.
In his limo, so I couldn't play it. I was just sitting here
one of them fancy limos.
Yeah, it was not. It was not. It was past its years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was pretty old.
A lot of velvet in there.
I feel like we might have overpaid.
That floor was nice in the 70s.
If these walls could talk, they would scream.
This old limo. Part Cheech and Chong movie, part Scooby-Doo mystery van. All velvet.
Okay. It wasn't the limo that was waiting for Joe Exotic outside the jail. We'll put it that way. It wasn't that kind of fancy.
Did it have a lot of that fake oak paneling around?
Yeah, that's the thing. It did. It was that, and then like the contoured cup holder. Yep. Into the ice tray service or whatever. Which none of those things were there. It was just like the setting for it.
Sinatra to love that.
Oh yeah.
The funny part is this was like early 2000s, right?
Oh yeah.
This was not like in the 70s.
This was 03. Yeah. The limo was probably in the
That's
from
what
the
I'm
70s.
saying. That's the funny part.
I would say probably like late 80s. It was nice. It just wasn't what I was expecting. When you see like limo on TV, you think, oh, LED lights and all kinds of fancy stuff, and no, it was none of that.
Yeah, the new limos are.
It was roomy. It was nice and roomy.
Yeah. Too bad you couldn't splurge for one of those Hummer limos.
Hummer limo.
Like it has the hot tub in the back and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Super practical, by the way.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I wasn't making that kind of money. I was working at McDonald's, man.
That probably wouldn't have fit through the McDonald's drive-thru.
No, it wouldn't have.
Although if it did, you have to be in the hot tub to get your 10-piece McNugget.
At that point, yeah, it's presented to you. Gonna keep the tray. I'll bring it back.
Yeah. Oh, man. Well, let me give you the rundown for today's show. We do have a full slate for you. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to talk Tai Chi for your health. Madi Manchenko is back with us with one of her students, Sue Steed, And, of course, they got some drop-in classes going on at the Salvation Army here in June. And so we want to invite people to come try some Tai Chi.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll do that here in just a bit. Don Weld will visit us one more time this week.
Wow.
All right? He's all over. It's just like his 3 things all lined up one week, and it usually doesn't because of the calendar.
I was surprised to see. I was like, Don.
Yeah. So Don's going to be
doing?
back talking Spring River Zoo with us
Nice,
here. And,
okay.
and then he's done for a bit. So, but Don will join us.
Oh, okay. I see your game. You get it all done in 1 week, and then you've done your work for the month.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a smart man.
Well played. But so Don will join us here in an 8 o'clock hour to talk Friends of Spring River Zoo. And then in the 9 o'clock hour at 9:15, Crystal Noble will join us for her visit from the Roswell Humane Society. Talk pets with us, talk a little bit about adoptions, and I'm sure with Memorial Day weekend coming up, with the schedule, and of course
the changing of the seasons,
and going on a thrift store and all that.
Take your dogs for walks early, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's already gonna be start now because like the high today is like 98, and tomorrow's like 99. So, but then it gets nice again. It's weird.
For the weekend.
Like for the back, like Monday and all, like Memorial Day is going to be way better than Saturday and Sunday. There's slight rain chances, but we're going from like 100 to like low 80s.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's kind of, at least that's what I checked it. I haven't looked that hard on this one, but speaking of that, let's just do that. 7:16, let us all find out together. Here's the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather, mid to upper 90s and sunshine for today. Getting a little more hot on Friday. We'll get sunny skies and afternoon highs topping out around 100. Looks like we'll stay near 100 with sunny skies on Saturday and then sunny and low 90s on Sunday. Slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm Memorial Day will be in the mid 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I scrolled too high. My apologies. 57 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 33%. Winds are blowing out of the north at 8 miles per hour. Like I said, today, tomorrow, it's going to be pretty warm. Saturday, too, actually. 98 for a high today under sunny and hot conditions. Northwest winds at 5 miles per hour, shifting to the southeast later today. Mostly clear tonight, overnight low of 61 degrees, southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For Friday, mostly sunny, expected to hit 100 century mark for Friday here with west winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, sunny, hot, 102 for a high, west winds 5 to 10 early, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Things start to cool down Sunday, mostly sunny, 96 if you want to call that cooler. And then Sunday night, and then for the next several days, we're looking at rain chances. Sunday night, a 20% chance of rain after midnight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 60. For Memorial Day Monday, a 20% chance at showers, partly cloudy, high of only 83. So that's where the cool down. We go from 96 and hundreds. Monday, 83 for a high there. But rain chances do continue. A 30% chance of rain Tuesday, mostly cloudy and 83. A 40% chance of rain on Wednesday, mostly cloudy and 81. So hot the next couple days and cooler temps with some rain chances for next week here. So we'll see how that shapes up. 7:18, we're going to take a 3-minute break, and then we will talk with Marty Manchenko and talk Tai Chi for health. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Your home is your sanctuary, and the land it's built on is even more precious. So when termites start devouring your house, you want a proven treatment that's environmentally responsible. You want the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System. The Centricon system is the green way to protect homes from subterranean termites. Rather than surrounding your house with hundreds of gallons of diluted chemical solution, the Centricon system strategically uses just a few grams of active ingredient in termite bait. working with natural termite behavior to destroy termite colonies. With this technology, it's no wonder the Centricon system became the only termite treatment to receive the Presidential Green Chemistry Challenge Award from the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency. And homeowners rate the Centricon system as the most environmentally sound termite treatment. Your home is your sanctuary, so monitor, bait, and eliminate termites with the Centricon system. Think of it as your own little piece on Earth.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344. The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
A long list of books and articles have been written on being a servant leader. Amazingly, the Bible describes a true servant leader long before any of those books or articles were ever written. The Apostle Paul writes a letter to Titus, who's working with the Christians on a little island called Crete. Paul admonishes Titus to appoint leaders for the church with the following qualities. So just listen closely. The leader is to be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to drunkenness, not violent, not pursuing dishonest gain. Instead, he's hospitable, one who loves what is good, who's self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. Isn't it amazing that following God's word not only works in your spiritual life, but in all aspects of your life? Do you want to be a leader in your church, your family, or maybe even your occupation? Then be the man or woman God calls you to be. If our world followed God's tenets of servant leadership, what a great place our world would be.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and back in studio with us this morning to talk some more Tai Chi for health. Mari Manchenko back with us this morning. Good morning,
Good
Mari.
morning. Good morning, Mike.
How are you today?
I'm great.
Good. And as you do most of the time, brought one of your students here today, and of course Phil's kind of one of our stars.
He's
of the
almost
show.
a regular.
Yeah, he's almost a regular here. But today we brought Sue Steed with us this morning. Good morning, Sue.
Good morning. How are you, too?
Doing great. How about yourself?
Wonderful.
Very good. So let me ask, how long have you been doing Tai Chi with Mari?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Almost a year.
Almost a year.
Now.
Yes.
Almost
Okay,
a year.
Very
Yes.
good.
Yeah.
So how did you find Mari? What was how did you just see a flyer or something?
I did. I went to see my doctor.
Okay.
And we in the waiting room on the bulletin board.
Nice.
There was
Good marketing, Mari.
Yes.
That's what we're doing right after this. I'm going to hit some doctors and therapists and chiros.
and we're going. My friend that took me out there, she said, "Look, we could go do this." I said, "Okay."
This is cool. Now, for folks that have never had an opportunity to hear Mari and I speak here on the radio before, Mari, she's I guess studies her with the Tai Chi for Health Institute, and really, Mari, she teaches Tai Chi for all, but her really focus is really helping folks that are having issues, health issues, seniors with mobility issues, with really other issues as well, the strokes and some of these other things. A lot of folks are finding a lot of positive results from just doing simple Tai Chi, the basics of Tai Chi. And the great part is you teach it for anybody. You can be in a wheelchair, you could be very limited mobility. None of that is an excuse not to do Tai Chi.
Yep. That's right.
Yep.
So I got to ask this, because I don't think I've ever asked this. If I have, I don't. Like, when you got into Tai Chi originally, was it for this kind of stuff, or was it for other things?
No, it's all for me.
And then it kind of stumbled into, oh man, this is because most people, if you didn't tell them anything about it, they think it's a martial art and thinking, sure, yes, that's all part. But this is kind of, it goes in different directions. Yes, there's the Tai Chi stuff for, at levels, I guess, self-defense, whatever you want to call that. But but this is think of this as like yoga and that type of. You're learning the moves. It's all about kind of understanding your body and listening to it, and in those moments when you're breathing and all that, you're actually you're just being in tune with what's going on, and that really does, help with this kind of thing.
Right. So are you asking me when I first
like
learned about it?
what brought you into Tai Chi just to begin with?
Well, I graduated from massage school in 1990 from Santa Fe, the New Mexico Academy of Advanced Healing Arts. And part of the program was we would have daily exercises in Qigong, which is also a Chinese movement form that was never used for battle preparations.
Gotcha.
It was fabulous. I loved it. And then 20 years later, a friend of mine was teaching some Yang-style Tai Chi, also loved it.
Okay.
And then life moved forward. But because of my background, which is in movement therapy and body work, and which is massage therapy and other forms
like
of
physical therapy,
hands-on therapies. Yeah. I have always been drawn to working with elders. And so I wanted to get back to, for two things. I wanted to find a program or find something I can teach that was backed by some science and organization.
Sure.
And I also wanted something that was for me, so very good for me, but that I could reach more people than what particular classes I was teaching.
Sure.
And so that's it basically. I wanted to find a channel.
Sure.
And then I found this program, which was actually offered, introduced by the New Mexico Department of Health. It is one of their two fall prevention, evidence-based fall prevention programs. And I found it, and I was nuts over it. It's like, this is what I need. So I got trained, about 8 years ago in that.
Okay.
And the program is also recommended by the Veterans Administration and the Arthritis Foundation, the New Mexico Department of Health, the CDC.
And that's what you were kind of mentioning earlier. You said you wanted something, and that's the thing is for folks that are kind of, when you hear Eastern medicine and things, and they're like, okay, is it, No, this is stuff that doctors, people, in the Western world are now saying, hey, this is an excellent form of rehabilitation and various, to help patients. And you're getting doctors prescribing this, or like I said, the VA's recognizing this as an actual thing.
Some insurances even
will pay for some of this.
Will pay for some of this. If you're a physician, we'll write you a script, and it's within your means of your insurance company. It also will reimburse you.
So what do you got to lose? Check it out. That's kind of the thing. So I got to ask you, Sue, when you started here about a year ago, what was some of the reasons you wanted to come and try out Tai Chi?
I have arthritis.
Okay.
And I had a stroke, only I was in the hospital when I had it, so they couldn't even find a picture of it afterwards.
Oh, wow.
So I was lucky that way.
Now, did you have a lot of limited movement from the stroke?
No.
No? Okay.
No, nothing. You couldn't.
No paralysis, none of the symptoms?
Nothing, nothing. But that's why I said, if you have one, have it in the hospital.
That's right. Sounds like you. Well, they always say seconds matter, and you only have one or two. You're right there.
That's right. The doctor was right there.
Awesome.
So, but my arthritis, my mother had arthritis real bad, and especially in her hands, and my body's doing what hers did, and so my hands are really bothering me, and my feet, and it's not real bad yet, but that's why I went.
Gotcha.
That's what my friend and I saw on the desk. She said, it's for arthritis. We could go do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, did your friend go with you?
Yes.
See, and that makes a difference too. So
yes,
it
does.
Like I'm sure Marty says, hey, when you see something, grab a friend, because then you can kind of encourage each other and hold each other accountable and everything else too.
Right.
So.
Well, and my friend says, it embarrasses me to go by myself, so I won't go. But if you're with me, then I'm just fine. And she's right, because she just takes off.
She became crazy about it. Now she's getting ready to get certified.
That's right.
Yeah.
So where did you start? Like, what were some of the first things day one when you walked there? What did Marty have you do that first day?
Well, we warm up first.
Okay.
Oh, I hear.
Oh yeah, don't worry about that.
Can I close this
Yeah,
door?
sure. Close that door. Don't worry about that. Sorry, you heard a little echo from our other room.
I did. It's like you get phone calls sometimes.
Yeah,
so we did the warm ups, what she was saying, and I have pretty good imagination. So she'd say, "Let your feet nerves spread out like you're gonna." And I can just see little tendrils of roots going down to the ground.
Sure.
But she had me sit.
Okay.
Because I had arthritis.
Sure.
My friend has fall risk.
Okay.
And
so were you both seated together there?
Yes, we started out seated, but my friend got to stand up before I did, and I could never understand. She's a fall risk, and I just ate. So, but that's okay because I learned to do it sitting down, and I did it a long time sitting. That's why she asked me to come.
Well, you got to hit. What they always say, you got to learn to crawl before you learn to walk.
That's
kind of
true.
Thing.
Yeah.
So, I got to ask, going in, what was your mindset? Did you kind of open up to it, or were you a little skeptical and then kind of got convinced as it went on here?
When we saw, mostly it was moving your body.
Gotcha.
To certain
ways. Clicking for you, making sense.
And it just you move very slowly.
Okay.
And it never occurred to me it might be a martial art. Now I mention it to other people, and they're going, "Oh, no, it's not that."
Hey, let them think that. That you say, "Wow, I'm a Tai Chi expert now," and then they start backing up. Let them. That's like what they want.
Yes, true.
Next thing you know, you start
Don't mess with me.
Next thing you know, you get free stuff showing up. It'll be all right.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, that works.
Yeah, just let them think what they want. So, Samadi, this is now that we're kind of getting into the summer here.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a good time for folks are looking to start this. You're kind of doing some startup stuff here in June for folks to. So, any time is a good time to start, but this is kind of we're just saying, hey, we got a group. They're getting in round one. We can do it together. We can kind of that way you have some peers that are kind of at the same level you are.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I am starting this Monday 2:30 class that is seated. It's intentionally seated.
Gotcha.
And I'm inviting people who. Not to replace possibly if you have a physical therapy program you're involved with, but
this is in addition to
a supplemental, very powerful, strong supplemental for your healing. So people that are recovering from hip surgery or cancer surgery, people that have fall risks, that are possibly recovering from neurological events,
stroke rehab.
Yeah, sure, stroke rehab and other and anxiety, any kind of trauma. And what is fabulous about the seated Tai Chi, I feel like it is even a better way, I'm going to say this, a better way than standing to initially find your core, your posture, and your breath.
Sure.
Most of us, truly, will find ourselves holding our breath at various times. And so the seated is powerful to help people find their actual strength. Now, what we do that's kind of different from any other seated program that I'm aware of anyway, even in other forms of, like yoga or other there's some really good programs out there. But what we do that's significantly different is when we are moving through the forms, which is also including your breath, your posture, finding your strength in your lower belly, and putting your head back over your spine, because how many times, especially driving, tired, look at the car beside you, people have their heads stuck out in front of them. And so once everybody, I don't care how young you are, and of course if you're very young and you have a cell phone, but putting that head out in front of the whole structure puts a whole lot of compression on all the nerves. The discs are actually in front of the spine, not in back of the spine. So we learn some really good habits that you carry out into your regular life. But so what else do I want to say about this?
You mentioned that real quick, and another thing I think about, like you're saying, squealing. As we get older, glasses get thicker, and sometimes, I don't know how many times I catch myself trying to read something, and then I'm like, oh man, I'm 3 inches from the screen. I need it back up.
Right. And it is habit.
Yeah.
And I have to readjust myself sometimes when I get up in the morning because I'm sleepy or whatever. It's like, okay, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
And my whole it actually helps my low back when my head is living where it belongs, over the spine, not sticking out. But anyway, so what is also very cool about this is that you get to do all of the forms that we do, but we press. We press with our full plate of our foot. And sometimes we tend to be a little more forward on the ball of our foot. Sometimes in regular life, sometimes we might be more heel-oriented, but we get very connected to our feet. There's something called proprioception, where we're nervous system-wise, the communication goes from our feet all the way up our body into our brain.
Okay.
So it truly gets the body more oriented and not into being in my head, because the brain is all important, and then it thinks it's very important. It sticks itself forward, and it takes us out of our awareness of how we're moving in our body. So that helps with our functioning of everything, our organs, our nervous system in terms of stress, anxiety. But because I have one more important thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You got all these questions.
I hear things you're saying like,
but so I don't want to lose the fact that, especially hip surgery, you have hip surgery, and there's lots. I know so many folks having so many procedures now, which is, you do what you do to get out of pain and all that. But it's out of gravity. It is an exercise that we call out of gravity. So not only are you really deeply strengthening by pressing, when I press, I'm accessing not just most exercises lift. You're lifting your legs, which is good. Keep your posture, your breath, you're lifting, but that's only accessing the frontal part of your musculature. When we press, we're accessing the full thigh, not just the larger muscles, but we're accessing the full thigh. It goes into the butt, which is our biggest back muscle.
Yeah, so that's the strong parts of the body.
It is the strong parts of the body, up through the hip. And so we get to do these very nourishing, and there's warm-ups that open the femur head, a little teensy little, a half an inch move to bring more nourishment into the joints, more blood flow, more vitamins, minerals, whatever we're feeding, and lymph flows out, which is supposed to leave and take the scar tissue with it. So it's a beautiful non-weight bearing exercise, but I sweat more doing seated Tai Chi than other Tai Chi, and I love it all. But if I don't get to have a seated class, I get kind of depressed.
Nice.
Because I love it.
Well, so we need to do it. So, and just because it's a chair don't mean it's not.
Oh, no, it's not for sissies. And I'll have the standers sit down, because I see them doing these beautiful forms, beautiful flow, great movement, working with the various Tai Chi principles. But I also see them leaning a little forward or sticking their head out a little bit. It's like, okay, let's sit today.
Yeah.
And they say, oh, my gosh, this is not easy. and Tai Chi in any form, but especially seated, is not.
And it's like anything else. Practice makes perfect.
Exactly.
And your body's going to start responding to the things, and it'll get actually easier to do it because your body's healthier and has that ability.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something here that I kind of also want to touch into, and it's, you talked about stress relief, and it's the mental health side of this thing.
Right.
If you're feeling overwhelmed with life and with I'm running here, and maybe you're thinking of something like that. That's what Tai Chi's great at too, because it really allows you to kind of prioritize the brain, taking some of that. It allows you to, basically it's the big breath to say, all right, I got to figure this out. Let's take the big breath, and then we can start working on this. And that's what Tai Chi is. It really is that reset the brain, and so, yes, you're going to get all the benefits from the physical side too, but if you're looking for, I need to de-stress. I need to and I get it, because you need to de-stress, but life won't allow you because you got 37 things.
Right.
Well, with your Tai Chi for Health classes, you could spend an hour a couple times, once or twice a week, and then you will find huge benefits from that.
Right.
So.
Exactly. And when you're doing the breathing and your posture's in place and you're playing Tai Chi, you will notice. And the very first day I teach a movement within this is Sun style Tai Chi, and it was created more recently, about a little over 100 years ago versus a couple thousand years ago. But the Sun style has a little bit of Qigong in it, but it was built, it's smaller. It doesn't go low if you're standing, because, we stand if we can. And Ms. Sue is now in the she has brought herself up to standing, and she's having fun with it. But you just, I forgot my train of thought. And she's sitting there over so cute.
Talking about we were talking a little bit about the stress.
Oh, yeah. So, but it slows your brain. Your brain actually starts shifting out of the faster modes into the slower modes.
Gotcha.
And the very first class and throughout the whole form of Sun style Tai Chi, we're doing a little Qigong, but it's something you learn the first day of class. And I take it when I go to the doctor's office, because if I'm in the doctor's office, I don't want to put that out in front of me. In the past, I have gotten stressed sitting in the doctor's office when they take my BP. It's like, oh my God, here it comes.
I'm one of those people. I have that white coat.
White coat
syndrome.
Yeah, white
I'm
coat.
one of those people.
I will tell them, wait, give me a minute, so I'll do my
Blood
open
pressure's
close.
always nuts when I'm in there. Yeah.
Oh, well, I fix it. Let me fix it, I say, and I'll fix it, and it goes down, and they're like, wow, that's very cool. So yes, it's
that
wonderful
is kind of a
for
baller's
stress
dad.
and
It's like,
exciting.
hold on. All right, go ahead.
No, it doesn't look like that. It looks much nicer than that.
But if I'm doing the movie version, that's how it's working.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But so it's very good for stress. And the Veterans Administration is now recommending Tai Chi, and it is now aware of this program also.
Yeah.
But especially for anxiety, trauma, sleep disorders, head injuries, which is, again, moving into the neurological aspect of it.
Well, and this is that part that I think we all know, that the human brain is the most amazing computer ever created.
Mm-hmm.
And we know very little about it. I mean, we know a lot, but there's a lot we don't know.
Right.
And I think this is where Tai Chi, it gets into places we just haven't figured out yet sometimes.
Right,
it's just, you can tap into these things in your body, and your body will do this.
Right,
I mean,
right.
And so I really think this is that part where, if you're having life issues, and it doesn't really matter what it is, if it's physical, if it's senior issues, if it's just, you just got crazy life going on and need, this will benefit you.
Right,
And yes,
right.
we are focusing on fall prevention and for seniors and for people in wheelchairs that, that are sit bound and all this. All of them are welcome, but you don't have to have any of that to benefit from this either.
No, that's what
That's right.
that actually, what's interesting is that when I have brand new people, fully mobile, fully able to, I don't care how old you are, when they first come to class, I ask, not insist, of course, can you take a month of seated? Can you take 4 seated classes before you move into the standing, so you can actually figure out where to point your tailbone, so you can figure out how to actually leave your head over your spine and find your breath and but it's not a requirement. It's just that you really find it better there. However, the Monday 2:30 is the seated class, and the Wednesday, and I have some other classes, but that's for more intermediate people on Monday. But Monday 2:30.
You'll learn about those when you get to these.
Once you get there. But Wednesday at 3:30 is the basic Tai Chi class, and that is for anybody that wants to come into class.
That standing seated just doesn't matter.
Yes, and so you can learn the basic fundamentals also of Tai Chi in the standing perspective. Yeah.
And I'd say give it a try, and this is, and now seniors and stuff, if you're do follow your doctors if they're going on physical therapy.
Of course.
Do it, but add this as a supplemental thing, and talk to your doctor. Make them in the conversation. Say, hey doc, I've been taking this Tai Chi class. What do you think of that? And they'll probably say that's a great thing. And if they don't know, then you educate them.
And if you have actually never gone onto the internet to just Google Tai Chi for health, or Tai Chi for brain injury, or Tai Chi for osteoporosis, or Tai Chi, whatever, you will be amazed at the Harvard Institute of Science, all these government agencies saying, yep, it is now evidence-based. They finally agree that it's evidence-based, and that's the research and the studies now.
Well, it's all science. You do this, it gets this, and it creates this.
You may get it, kind of, but Tai Chi is based on Chinese medicine.
Absolutely.
And that the acupuncturists have been certified in this country for many years.
That gets me is we'll put more faith in something that was created 10 years ago rather than something that's been proven for thousands of years.
3,000.
And so I will, for people that are skeptical, I'm going to hit you with that logic.
Yeah, right. Well, we're really blessed. COVID made a lot of changes, and some of it very painful and difficult. Another thing that has come from COVID is that we're able to use the internet more. We're able to connect with people more, like Zoom. Oh my gosh, I can see my grandchild, and but if you go and research anything on the internet, just put in whatever you're thinking about related to Tai Chi, you'll be just stunned.
Of course, I'll turn you a place to start first is of course Marty's organization, Tai Chi for Health Institute.org.
Yes.
And you can go there. I know that's a lot to say, but if you say Tai Chi for Health Institute, something along those lines, you'll get close enough and on the Google search.
Yeah,
there.
so they're actually founded in Australia, Dr. Lang.
Yeah, that's an international website.
Yeah, it's international, and I'm certified internationally, so I need to find some island I need to go to and make a little program start and have a little tax deduction going
Winters
there.
in the Caribbean might not be so bad, right?
That's right.
Teaching Tai Chi.
Sue's like, I'll be your first patient.
Yes, exactly.
We'll get on the plane and go together. So let me ask you, Sue, where, like a year ago to now, where are you at in your progress, and how are you feeling, and what's been some of the benefits you've noticed in the time you've been doing it?
Well, my group of people are all getting older.
Yeah, it happens.
I know.
Every time I go to these places, I'm like, man, you're looking older.
I know.
Yeah.
Don't look in the mirror.
But yeah. So I see that I feel, and I think I look probably not as decrepit as some of them. Not using the word decrepit, but
love it. It's like, I look better than that one. Better than that one.
But it's the way you move and the way you
feel. It sounds
and
like.
I'm amazed.
Like, how's your energy level? Do you have more energy? See, that's the part I think people don't get is
she's got great posture.
Well,
too.
and as we get older, the rest of us, we get tired, we get worn out, and all of a sudden a night on the couch is a good idea. And I'm going to say there's probably, now don't get me wrong, there's a few nights you're like, night on the couch is a good idea.
It's nice.
But I bet there's days you're like, no, let's go out and take a walk, or let's go to the park or something.
Yes, exactly. I would also like to add, Consumer Reports, which my brother was a big proponent of.
My brother, too. Every time I buy a car, he sends me a whole thing about it.
Yes.
That's wrong. Oh, did you know this?
Yeah. But they also put out a bulletin on health.
Okay.
And I get the bulletin on health. I like it. And more often, they're saying when you need to be doing exercises, they're mentioning Tai Chi.
You're seeing it more and more in the Consumer Report stuff.
Just plain, and that's on Consumer Report. Then in the newspaper, every once in a while, you'll see it, not ours, I'm sorry. But it's around when people say that.
Sure.
I've had my youngest son had I don't know what was he took it. He took it wasn't karate, but it was one of those
another martial arts
thing, and so and when I was telling him, well, Mom, you're not going to try to break bricks with your hand, are you? I said, no, that's not what it is.
It's not this kind of Tai Chi.
Right. Mom's going to sit in a chair and learn how to sit correctly and move my arms and breathe.
Yeah. Then I'm going to start breaking bricks, so watch out.
That's
right, exactly.
So just don't bring any bricks around. Oh, no. I'm 80 years old.
Ah, is that all?
I just turned.
I would have, to be honest, you do not look 80 years old.
Well, thank you.
I would have guessed a lot younger.
Yeah.
I don't guess because I always get in trouble, but I would have guessed younger.
And there's also the social aspect. Would you not say that you've made some new friends that are good people?
Yes. We're all sitting around doing these things.
Nice.
I'm watching the standers. They're doing it in my face while I'm sitting there. And I've made a whole new group of people that we're like family.
That's awesome.
We really care about each other.
And again, that better for the overall health. That mental
is.
health side. When you're connecting with humans, and especially in common things, and this is all well-rounded overall health. So, so even the ancillary side, and when you're not physically sitting in the chair or standing up doing the movements, you're still benefiting from Tai Chi just from the fact that you're out and about and chatting with people and conversing, and who knows, making friends that you'll carry with you the rest of your life.
That's right.
Right.
It's enabled me to pull the dandelion bushes out of my front yard.
Nice. Stop paying the kid.
Wow.
Well, I had kid, and he just pulled the tops off. So I was
Gotta do it yourself.
So I'm out there doing that.
Which is now easier for you.
It is.
But, can I get some information?
Yes,
let's
get the nuts and bolts, and because if you're listening and saying, "Man, I need to try this," here's how you get into the fold.
How do we do this?
Yeah.
Well, one thing is that you can actually go to your website, 106.5 website, and you can get this video and send it to your aunt.
KSVPTV.com in the mornings and Mike Winters channel or our Facebook wall. It's all right there.
Right.
Facebook
So there's
wall.
that.
Yeah.
And then you can go to the website and you can see all about this program and other programs that they offer. And there's a whole lot of just free information on there.
Yeah.
The website is Tai Chi, which is T as in Tom, AICHI.
If you spell it wrong on the computer, it'll fix it.
Oh, it'll fix it. That's exactly true. Isn't that? Oh man, that's how come we're all
Yeah,
such
it'll
bad
tell you. Do
spellers
you
now.
mean this?
Yeah.
TaiChiForHealth.org. You can email me if you wish, and my email address is healthfirst. That's with a number 1 ST. healthfirst@yahoo.com, and you can call me 575-626-7150.
Yeah.
I am on Facebook, but sometimes I don't always get the messages if we've never messaged and all of that. My name is Marisalina Manchego.
That's why we just call her Marty.
Yeah, he just calls me Marty Manchego. And I also want to mention that I teach in Ruidoso.
Yeah, you have classes there,
Yeah,
too.
I teach at the Soggy Dog Space, right next to this beautiful Soggy Dog groomer. Lovely people. Space is great.
Weather's mostly nice all the time.
Yeah,
yes.
kind of, sort of, but inside it's wonderful. So, in class. But Friday I am also teaching what I'm gearing down into this same kind of class.
Good deal.
And it is Friday from 2 to 3.
So if you got Ruidoso family and friends,
Yeah.
and you tell them about us and then turn them on. So
2
you
to
can
3.
see Marty. You don't have to come down here
Yeah,
to do
we
it.
have
Yes.
a few people recovering from stroke and finding, a lot of
Or
strength.
vice versa. I'm thinking maybe
Right.
you're down here and then you do a week. You're going to
Right.
be up in Ruidoso for
Right.
the week and you
Right.
drop in on a class over
That's
there.
right. Either place, it's, you'll
Or
find
vice versa.
you'll
Yeah.
find your way. And I also teach a standing class up there at 10:30 on Mondays.
Very good.
Introduction to Soon Style Tai Chi.
Excellent. So if you're interested, please, you can call 575-626-7150. Again, 575-626-7150. You can also shoot Marty an email, healthfirst, that's health, 1ST, at yahoo.com. Or you can also, check out the website, TaiChiForHealthInstitute.org. But if you want to sign up for these classes and get more information, reach out direct to Marty, 575-626-7150, or send an email, healthfirst, health1st, at yahoo.com.
Right.
And then classes begin here like the first week of June, right?
First week of June.
Yeah.
And
At the Salvation Army. I don't know
at
if we
the
ever mentioned
Salvation
that.
Army on college.
Yeah,
What
West
is
College,
it?
612 West College.
That's the one. Yeah. And let's see, what else do I want to say? The very first class, I'm teaching the one movement we call open close that lowers your blood pressure. It releases endorphins. It's a very sweet, calming, very healthful move. So if you come into the class and you think, I don't know if I like this, and I'm not sure if I like this, and you actually take the class and you just hate it, and you don't want to come back, that's fine, of course. But you get to take a tool with you that will help you in many situations, including if you're angry, your family's angry. It really does slow the excited heart rate, blood pressure.
Buy time to let the
Right.
pot simmer a bit.
Right.
And calm down a
Right.
little bit. Yeah.
That, yeah. Good idea.
Absolutely.
I get all excited, so I don't know how calm I am right now.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Let the pot cool a bit here before we do it. So, Sue, thank you for joining us here. Anything that anybody want to say hi to? Anything or anything you wanted to share with us that we just didn't get a chance to talk about? I kind of want to give you an opportunity there.
Okay, well, thank you. I was born and raised in Artesia.
All right.
And
so, are you a closet Bulldogs fan? It's okay. You can tell me. I used to work there.
But I've been to Texas. Spent a lot of time in Texas.
Gotcha.
And so I came back.
Gotcha.
But
She's in New Mexico.
And I'm a New Mexican at heart.
Nice.
And I'm staying here, and all my kids are in Texas.
Nice.
But Mom, you're so far away. It's all right. It's okay.
It's okay, but she gets to see them.
Well, they get to come, and now you get, dare I say, more time with the grandkids now because of Tai Chi and things like that. And more quality time is for sure.
Yes.
Where you can pick up the kid every once. Well, maybe not till they get big, but when they're.
I don't know. That's a lot of kids. Those kids.
Yeah.
May I speak of the money real quick? Because
yes,
people
yes.
may be thinking, how much is this? I don't know if I
Yes,
can afford
please.
this. So So when you come to a class, again, at that first class, you hate it, you don't have to pay for it. But the way I set it up for people to make it more affordable is say we have 8 classes scheduled or 8 classes scheduled for the whole month. If you want to take that Wednesday class too, you're welcome to, and you'll be doing it seated. Say you want to take 2 classes a month, and the class, if you just drop in every once in a while, it is $10 a class. If you prepay for the month, so come June 1st, and it's like, well, I'm only going to be in 4 classes this month, you prepay $8 a class.
Nice.
So
Save a
it's
little.
$32 because you know you have a doctor's appointment or you're going out of town or whatever. So you save a few bucks that
Absolutely.
way.
So
Right.
there's definitely an opportunity there, too.
Right, right.
But put it this way. Money's not going to be if we'll work that part out. If you want
Right.
to, the point is we want to get you
That's correct.
into these classes and seeing the benefits of what this
Yes.
can do for folks.
Right,
Yes.
right.
And of course, I guess you can, if you want to meet Sue, she's going to be in the stand-up class now. So.
Well, I do both. She'll come over and say, Sue, could you sit today, please?
There you go.
I said, all right. She says, I just want some people sitting.
Oh, yeah, I'll bring her as an example into
Sure.
our beginning class. This is Sue. She started here. But yeah.
And we went to the courthouse one day and did Tai Chi in the grass.
Nice, out on the lawn.
Out on the lawn. It was wonderful.
Yeah,
it was
that grass is
wonderful.
great.
You know what? You need to go to. I feel like there's a lot of cool places in Ruidoso in the pines or in the mountains
Oh,
there. You might
yes.
want to get you a good spot too, and
Yeah.
got a view. Got a Tai Chi with a view.
Yeah.
That's it.
Very
That's it.
Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you, Sue, for coming in. Mine
Thank
as always.
you.
We
Thank you so
appreciate
much,
the
Mike.
visit, folks. If you really, I'm telling you this. This is one of those things that yes, we advertise it to solve this thing, but it solves a lot of answers. If you're having
Yeah.
life issues,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take a stab. Tai Chi will find a way to help you navigate it in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
And so
Right.
Yes.
I'm all
that's
for
why I
it.
say I know we are focusing on fall prevention and for seniors and all that.
Right.
But if you're 22, I don't care.
Oh,
Get in there
yeah.
and take
I
the
have
class.
all kinds of ages.
Yeah, if you're
all
young
kinds
and
of ages.
indestructible,
Mhm,
get in
mhm.
there and do it too.
Mhm,
You will find
mhm.
so many benefits.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.
All right.
Okay.
All
Thanks
right.
for fitting
See if you
us
can outdo
in.
Phil in the things. Like, Phil might get jealous. We got to be
Oh,
careful. but
yeah, I know. He told me, he
He's
said,
ready.
you're
He's
going to
ready.
like
And
it.
he was grinning. It's
But-
like he could step in any minute.
He's like, Sue, you sure you don't want to go? Get a little cough.
Yeah,
I got this.
yeah, I got
No,
this, Sue.
it's the getting up at when the sun just is getting up.
I keep trying to tell them, can I start the morning show at noon? But they are not letting
They
it
don't
happen.
like
So
that.
they do not let it happen.
Well, I have to tell you, sitting waiting outside this morning. Didn't I tell you?
The show's still on.
Oh,
I can
is it?
yeah, we're still going.
She said, I said, I'm going to have to get up earlier because it's just gorgeous early in the morning.
This time of year really
It
is.
is,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ladies.
All
We'll
righty.
see you next,
See you
and
next time.
Happy Memorial Day weekend. Enjoy
That's
the
correct.
3-day weekend.
Well, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, 7:57. Let's pause for news before more news. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. As a reminder, most city and county administration offices and facilities will be closed on Monday in observance of Memorial Day. Some city services in Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia will have adjusted schedules as well. In Roswell, the public library and the Spring River Zoo will be closed on Monday. The Roswell Museum and Adult Center also remain closed because of flood damage. The Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center and the Nancy Lopez Golf Course at Spring River will be open on Memorial Day. Artesia General Hospital is celebrating being named one of 10 new participants in the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Rural Community Hospital Demonstration Program. The program is a national initiative aimed at strengthening rural access to health care. The Rural Community Hospital Demonstration Program supports the long-term sustainability of small rural hospitals by testing cost-based reimbursement models for Medicare inpatient services. Traditional Medicare payment systems often leave rural hospitals underfunded due to lower patient volumes and higher operating costs. This program addresses that challenge by reimbursing participating hospitals based on the actual cost of providing the care rather than a standard fixed rate. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. It extends and expands Trump tax relief and reforms Medicaid. House Republicans passing the president's spending and tax cut bill, vote 215 to 214. House Speaker Mike Johnson credits prayer and perseverance for the legislative win.
I give glory to God. I mean, there's a lot of prayer that brought this together. I'm just going to be very blunt about it. There was a few moments over the last week when it looked like the thing might fall apart, and I went to the little chapel over here and got on my knees and prayed that these guys would have wisdom and stamina and discernment. And that's the secret here, and teamwork, and mutual respect that everybody has for one another. And I think that's what defines the Republican Party. It's a great day to be an American. It's a great day to be a Republican.
Next stop for the bill, the Senate.
After the House of Representatives passed his tax and spend bill, the president took a victory lap on social media, touting the tax cuts and money for border security. He said now it's time for the Senate to get to work, writing online that there is no time to waste and that Democrats have lost control of themselves.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. 2 Israeli embassy aides have been shot to death outside the Capitol Jewish Museum, Washington, D.C.
Police say the gunman was seen pacing outside the building before an event at the Jewish Museum. He then shot 2 members of the Israeli embassy at close range. Officers say when he was taken into custody, he chanted, "Free Palestine." President Trump offered his condolences on social media and wrote, "Hatred and radicalism have no place in the USA." He also offered his support to the Israeli ambassador, promising that his administration would do all it could to fight anti-Semitism.
The BBC's Jay Kwan says the victims, Yaron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram, had planned to get engaged in Jerusalem next week. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 176 points, NASDAQ off 35 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
In Australia, fierce storms unleashing severe flooding across New South Wales state. The BBC's Phil Mercer in Sydney.
Some areas north of Sydney have had 4 months' worth of rain in just a few days. More heavy downpours are forecast. Residents have been rescued from their rooftops by helicopters. Rivers have overflowed and towns have been inundated. Many communities are without power and roads and schools have been closed. The Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is urging people in the worst-hit regions to obey emergency evacuation orders. The authorities say the threat of dangerous flooding could extend to parts of Sydney.
North Korea says a new 5,000-ton destroyer key to its naval expansion was damaged during its launching ceremony, attended by dictator Kim Jong-un. State media reports the ship slid off the ramp, crushing parts of its bottom. News and analysis, townhall.com. Government's probing congressional testimony by former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo concerning state's response to the COVID pandemic.
The U.S. Justice Department has opened a criminal investigation into former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo after congressional Republicans recommended he be charged with lying over his handling of the COVID-19 pandemic. A person familiar with the matter says Congressman James Comer, the Republican chairman of the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform, made the recommendation because of statements Comer says Cuomo made to lawmakers investigating his management of the pandemic when the virus was spreading through nursing homes. Donna Warder, Washington.
More than 1,000 measles cases have been confirmed across the U.S. this year. Major outbreaks in Texas, New Mexico, Kansas, and 8 other states. There have also been outbreaks abroad. Childhood vaccination rates have declined since the COVID pandemic. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Yes. Welcome to it.
Almost there. About ready to graduate some kids over the next couple days.
The penultimate day of the week for you kids who are graduating. There's a SAT level word.
All I'm saying is be careful over the weekend. They're going to be looking for you. They're going to be knowing it. They know. They all know. Kids are graduating. They're going to be out. They're going to be partying. They're going to be doing things. They're going to be watching. Don't drink and drive.
Nope.
Don't do any of these dumb things, man.
In this day and age, you're dumb to drink and drive. There's Uber, there's Lyft, call your friend. I mean, there's delivery services. There's really no need to, just put yourself in that position.
Well, first off, you're under 21, so you really shouldn't. But I know kids and what kids do and how that happens. I'm not stupid. I was one. Done things too. But it really is too easy to find an alternative to do something here. And I will invite you to go back a month or two when we had the every 15 minutes here, and we had, of course, we're talking about the Artesia and what happened, and that man had the top of the world, and he lost his best friend, and he's dealing with the consequences of that, all because of a night of drinking in Ruidoso.
One bad decision changed his life forever.
Absolutely, And trust me, you all know you're indestructible. That's not going to be me. That's going to be someone else until it is.
Right.
Until that, you're next thing you know, you're the road sign on the side of the highway. It's been or
exactly.
You're the picture in the yearbook, the remembrance picture. It's very easy to do. So keep it all about the success and fun, and enjoy that part. Leave the drinking out of it. And if you are, by God, do not drive. Do not get on the road with it.
Nope.
That stuff. Just there you go. I'm throwing my blanket. I know, and everyone's like, I know. But until it happens, it happens. It does. But I'm telling you, there will be checkpoints. There will be more and more law enforcement patrolling this weekend. Trust me. Sheriff's Department, Police Department, State Police, they all know what. They're not stupid. They know what's going on this weekend.
They will be out.
They're going to be, and they're all doing it to make sure you get to go home. Remember that. And even if you get caught, thank your lucky stars.
Exactly.
You're going to have
a lot worse things could have happened.
You get caught with nothing happening, you're going to spend some punishments for that. But you ain't killed nobody or yourself, and you get to tell about it and learn from it. So all that, but it's just too easy to avoid this altogether.
Right.
And I get it. You're young and you have the world ahead of you. Let's keep it that way.
Exactly.
So, all right, I'm done talking.
Thanks, Captain Optimism.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, yeah, the weekend. Mike's like, but hold on.
Well, I am a military veteran, as is Don. And he knows just as well as I do that before a weekend, time for the safety briefing. We got them every weekend. And it covered various subjects. Mostly don't do this, don't do that. Don't get and I was stationed at Holloman, so there was always the Juarez speech. In those conversations. But.
I've been watching this series of YouTube shorts. I can't remember the guy. I think his name is Staff Sergeant McCrae, and it's a series that he did, I think, while he was in the military, called "As Long as We Trackin'," and it's basically this staff sergeant who keeps busting his lower ranks for stupid stuff. There's one where a kid, I guess one of the unders went out for the weekend and he ended up getting an earring, and he got popped because it's. And I didn't think about this until like 2 or 3 years ago. An ex of mine pointed this out to me. That's destruction of government property.
Correct.
That's a crazy thing to think about. The way it was put to me was, if I'm out too long and I get a sunburn, that's destruction of government property. I'm like,
correct.
What? That's intense.
I tried to tell y'all, once you sign up in the military, you are no longer protected by the United States Constitution.
You are a government issue.
You're a government issue, and your rules fall under UCMJ. They are not the same rules as what's in the United States Constitution.
Right.
So, yeah, tattoos. Really? I think they're way lenient on it now, and they don't really have. But back when I was in, if you had a tattoo that you could see in uniform, you're busted.
Yeah.
They're gonna deal with you on that. And you're like, that's unreasonable. Well, this is why they give you discounts at Golden Corral and all this stuff for veterans, because you really had to sign your rights away to defend this country. That's why. We talk about the dying part, but it really is, you just sacrifice your rights as a United States citizen to defend this country for 4 years or 20 years.
Yep.
That's why you.
Thank you for your service.
Dude. But I will take my 10% off of my dinner now.
Oh, of course. Free steak every year. Yeah, deservedly so.
But and you know what? I'm Air Force. I am blessed to not have to sit in foxholes and shoot guns directly at people. Did I have some close calls with bombs and things like that? Yes. But in terms of that, I don't have that burden to carry.
Right.
So that being said, it's sure boy howdy to pursue my career in radio. Man, I got all kinds of life experiences and stories from the United States military that kind of translate well to telling stories on the radio sometimes.
It's true.
So I call my 4 years in the military my education to the next thing.
On-site experience. On-site training, yep.
That's right. Which, by the way, is a top 5 movie for me. Good Morning Vietnam.
Oh, 100%.
Of course, I'm a radio guy.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of that, and I'm moving on, 'cause it's stupid, but I got, how they get the rabbit holes of the top 10 best this and clickbait garbage on social media? Well, they had one about top 10 sports movies, and Rudy was not even in the top 10.
Serious?
And I was like, I'm shocked. And then of course a lot of people agreed with me on that.
Yeah, I mean that's.
But I'm like, I was like, come on, I know it's probably clickbait rage. They're trying to get people to do it, intentionally left Rudy off.
Can I guess what number 1 was?
Sure.
Either Field of Dreams or Bull Durham.
No.
Really?
No. This list was made by a younger person.
Oh.
Remember the Titans.
Oh, come on.
Which is a fine movie.
It's a great movie,
but it ain't number 1.
Yeah, come on. I wouldn't have put Rudy at number 1, to be fair.
Yeah, this person probably didn't even know what Rudy is. I'm going to say this was a younger person that decided this one. Someone that was probably when Remember the Titans came on, they were 12, and then now they're
like, Step Up 2, The Streets. That's their number 1.
Right. Basketball. The bench warmer.
Hey, don't knock 2 of my favorites.
I like them too, but best of all time? Because it all depends. Like, if you get someone that's a little older than me, they're going to say something like Brian's Song or something like that. I'm going to go, to be honest, I like Rudy's in my top deal, but I ain't going to lie. There's Youngblood. I will go ahead because I'm a hockey guy, and the end with the fight scene, and then I'm ready to run through a wall. And Rocky movies. I don't care what anybody says. The Rocky movies, if you ain't ready to run out, how many little white dudes got their butt kicked after a Rocky movie because they thought they were, big and tall, and then they go out to the movie theater and find out they ain't.
Right. Give me a side of beef to punch.
That's the best sports movie ever. You're going to avoid people to run through a building after they watch the movie. Mission accomplished. So I got to go Rocky movies. But anyway. Don Weld is here.
Yes.
He's going to round out the trifecta for this week. This time talking friends of the Spring River Zoo. So we're going to talk zoo here in just a few minutes. And also get updates on what's going on with that, too. Don't forget, we will be carrying graduations over the next several days. University Highs tonight, Roswell, I believe, tomorrow night, and Goddard on Saturday.
Yep.
Go out to the venues and be there. But if you have out-of-town friends and family, got Cousin Lou, Aunt so-and-so, and they can't make it into Roswell, they can watch your loved one graduate, ksvptv.com. You'll find the respective channels. I think the University High's up there already, Goddard Rocket. They'll be there at the appropriate times. You can watch it and go, or they'll be available on demand after. So you can go to the event and then go back and see if you can spot yourself in the crowd.
That's me.
Or find your loved ones as they walk the stage.
There you go.
So it'll be there. It is 8:16. Let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Mid to upper 90s and sunshine for today. Getting a little more hot on Friday. We'll get sunny skies and afternoon highs topping out around 100. Looks like we'll stay near 100 with sunny skies on Saturday and then sunny and low 90s on Sunday. Slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm Memorial Day will be in the mid 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 64 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 25%. Winds currently out of the north at 9 miles per hour. We got hot. We got lots of hot for the next several days. Sunny and hot with a high of 98. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies. Overnight low of 61. Southeast winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. For you Friday, we're going to hit the century mark officially. Mostly sunny and 100 the expected high for Friday. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy. Overnight low of 63. So, overnights are looking in the 60s, which is warmer than usual. South winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday, 102. Yeah, mostly sunny, 102. West winds 5 to 10, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Then Sunday, we start to see a slight cool down. A slight, very so slight. Mostly sunny, 96 on Sunday. But beginning Sunday night and continuing through at least midweek, we've got rain chances and cooler temps. Sunday night, there is a 20% chance of rain after midnight, partly cloudy, overnight low of 60. For Memorial Day Monday, a 20% chance for afternoon showers and thunderstorms, partly cloudy. We're low 80s, 83 for a high on Monday. Tuesday, we're looking at a 30% chance at showers, mostly cloudy. Once again, a high of 83. Wednesday, we're looking at a 40% chance of showers, mostly cloudy, 81. So, and I've only got through Wednesday. I don't have Thursday yet. So we got the desert to go through, and then we hit the moisture valley here Sunday night, Monday. Is what they're saying. All right, it is 8:18. We're going to take about a 4-minute break, and then we'll be joined by Don Weld wearing his Friends of the Spring River Zoo hat this time. So we'll be back. Don't go away.
A long list of books and articles have been written on being a servant leader. Amazingly, the Bible describes a true servant leader long before any of those books or articles were ever written. The Apostle Paul writes a letter to Titus, who's working with the Christians on a little island called Crete. Paul admonishes Titus to appoint leaders for the church with the following qualities. So just listen closely. The leader is to be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to drunkenness, not violent, not pursuing dishonest gain. Instead, he's hospitable, one who loves what is good, who's self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. Isn't it amazing that following God's word not only works in your spiritual life, but in all aspects of your life? Do you want to be a leader in your church, your family, or maybe even your occupation? Then be the man or woman God calls you to be. If our world followed God's tenets of servant leadership, what a great place our world would be.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Push it, pull it, drag it, tow it. Whatever you got to do, get your clunker to the first annual Cash for Clunkers at Roswell Nissan. This weekend only, Roswell Nissan is offering up to $5,000 towards any new vehicle, including all new 2025 Pathfinders and Armadas. So now you can trade in that old and busted for some brand new hotness. And join Roswell Nissan this Saturday, Sunday, and Memorial Monday from 11 to 2 for free barbecue and drinks, Jolly Jump for the kids, and sign up for your chance to win a Weber Grill to be given away on Memorial Day. Cash for Clunkers on now at Roswell Nissan, 2111 West Sec.
Growing things in Roswell is a battle. Your lawn's trying to turn brown, your trees are wanting to turn yellow, the weeds want to take over, and the fleas and ticks are trying to move in. So come down to Roswell Seed Company and choose your weapons. We have fertilizer to make your lawn lush and lovely, iron to keep your trees nice and green, sprays to kill the weeds, and more sprays to chase away the fleas and ticks. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. Yeah, it's a jungle out there, except it never rains.
Registration is now open for the fall semester at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Classes will fill up fast, so don't wait. Sign up early to create a schedule that works best for you. New students are encouraged to sign up now. Advisors are ready to help you kickstart your path to academic success. Start today. Visit roswell.enmu.edu or call 575-624-7000. ENMUR. Success starts here.
Success starts here. ENMU Roswell.
At Martine's Capital Cafe, come in and enjoy a delicious variety for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Try our burritos, huevos rancheros, asado, chorizo, sausage, flantas, fajitas, chili rellenos, quesadillas, enchiladas, sopapillas, and don't forget their award-winning green chili cheeseburger and so much more. Everything is prepared with the finest and freshest ingredients. Martine's Capital Cafe. Quality, value, tradition, and the most delicious New Mexican food since 1989. Open Monday through Saturday from 6 to 8:30 p.m. at 110 West 4th Street in Roswell.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Every year, thousands of nursing home and assisted living residents face neglect and mistreatment. But as an ombudsman, you can be a voice for those who often go unheard. And we're looking for volunteers. Ombudsmen advocate for residents' rights and ensure quality care. It's an incredibly fulfilling experience. I know because I am one. Whether you're retired or just starting your career, your dedication and compassion will make a significant impact. Learn about volunteering as an ombudsman today at aging.nm.gov/volunteer. Sponsored by this station and the NMBA.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, Don Weld back with us, this time talking Spring River Zoo this morning.
One more time this week, yes.
Yeah, just the way the weeks lined up that all of Don's, because he's got some of the third and some of the fourth week in the month, and just all
it all came out this same week this time.
So thing is, we'll have a slight desert of Don for a month after this.
Yeah, that's
right. All 1 week.
Well, actually, wait a minute. No, that's right. I'll still be around.
Gotcha.
I've got my trip next month.
Oh.
I may be gone some of that time.
Well, we'll have to figure
I'll
that
figure
one out.
that one out.
Right.
I've got other people to
we
help.
can come in and hop in for visits. But for folks not familiar with the zoo, if you've been here a while, before the flood and all that, the Friends of the Spring River Zoo was a pretty good, strong organization that really did, like, you think the brews at the zoo and a lot of the stuff that ancillary stuff that goes on in the zoo. That's the Friends of the Zoo that are help making that happen. And unfortunately, the flood kind of put a kibosh on a lot of stuff that the Friends kind of had to break up, because really the zoo, it needs and still needs some major work out there.
Oh, yeah.
However, the zoo is open, and people can go to the zoo. And so we need to get the Friends, we need to rally the Friends back up, start getting fundraising together, because there's so many projects that need to be addressed out there that the city's not going to be able to cover, that we, the people, are going to have to fund up and get going on.
Most definitely. Yeah. It's sad right now. The zoo is, day to day, they're doing what they're doing, and that's fine. But we really need to get the Friends group back in there, and if nothing else, push the city to get some things done. So we really need the public's help on getting our Friends group back up and running and things working the way it should be.
So folks that did it in the past and are hey, we need you back. If you want to come back, if you got the time and the desire and ability, we'd love to have you back. But also new folks, if you love what the zoo does, if you want to support, or if you want to see a better zoo, you want things, you're like, I love the zoo, there's potential, but man, we got to do a lot more to it. Well, then let's be a part of the Friends and let's be active in helping that goal happen.
Yeah, I think it can grow. It's still got some room to grow, a lot, actually.
Oh, yeah. I really think prior to the flood, the ideology was kind of to make this kind of like a biopark almost, a mini biopark.
Yeah,
not to the level of Albuquerque, obviously, but use that concept as
the
platform here.
Yep.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the flooding and everything's kind of changed mission. And now we're like, well, we got the thing, we got cages in containers and that need to be redone, redressed, fixed.
Yep.
And so that's the priority right now, is getting these homes for the animals back to up to snuff, things like that, and doing all that. So we really need volunteers. And to be honest, your membership to the Friends of the Zoo helps that way. Even if you're like, well, I can't be out every weekend cleaning up and doing all this, but becoming a member and your donation, that does also help the Friends of the Zoo. So even if you necessarily can't be out doing the work, but would love to support, just become a member and keep your membership in standing good. That'd be a huge help.
And since just prior to the flood, we started having membership problems, we now have to rebuild that membership and set it all up again so that people can become members.
Going to start from ground one here.
You got it.
Yeah.
No, we have no members.
Gotcha.
Except the board. Yeah, and that's it.
So we need that. So start coming out, volunteering, and I guess how often does the board meet right now?
Well, we haven't met. We technically all we have to meet is once a year.
Okay.
Officially, we would like to meet once a month.
Right.
And as soon as we can get that together, figure out when, where, and how, we will do that. We will start meeting on a monthly basis and invite the public to join us to enjoy that and see what's going on.
But we are looking for more volunteers, more probably board members, things like that. So
we need to increase that.
Yeah. So please reach out if you're interested. It's going to take a lot of work.
Yep.
This is years of things that need to done to get it back to where it needs to be.
Yep.
And it's got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and that's where we're at right now.
Yep.
We're very, very in the start. We're in the starting gates.
Sure.
We just had
we're trying to come out of the ashes here a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
What was it? The Preakness? Was that the one that was just running?
Yeah, the one they just raised.
Yeah. Well, we're in the starting gate. Now we got to get the gates open and let the horses
run our race here.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, and folks, I invite you go to the zoo. It's open. You can go see it for yourself.
Yeah.
See where we're at. Please support it. But in the meantime, you're going to see it, and there are going to be things, man, they need to do this. Yes, you're right. And we need, would you like to help us do that? Please.
What you see is what you see now is what you've got.
Yeah.
So let's see what you would like to improve.
Absolutely.
And come talk to us, and then we will start to formulate what we need to do to get to that point.
Absolutely. And so that's and so that's where we're at right now. And this is we need bodies, we need people, we need that
community support.
Yeah, this is rallying the troops, so to speak. When you look at, like, for instance, the museum and art center, they're dealing with similar issues here to a much bigger level, actually. But you're dealing with and the city helps where they can, but a lot of the stuff they're doing is really rallying the art community, getting people that have the vested interest and supporting it to get it done.
That's right.
And the zoo needs the exact same thing.
Exact same thing. People who want to see that zoo viable and operating at its highest level, come join us, and we will help push that up to where we can do that.
Absolutely. This is what, just to give kind of some of the animal, I know, like, even before all this, they were talking about upgrading the bear pens and things like that. None of that has changed, but there's probably been a few additions to some of the other pens that need also some real help now.
And some of the infrastructure. One of the things is the railroad. The tracks were pretty well torn up, so that's expensive. It's the tracks that need to be replaced. The train itself is fine. It's
It's
runnable.
sheltered and
but we need to replace those tracks, and that takes thought because you got to build up the ground soil, put in those new ties and new rails, all that stuff. So.
Yeah, and I imagine because it's not standard railroad gauge that everything, so it's a little bit.
It's a little off-sized,
a little bit more expensive, or a little harder to procure, or something like that.
You know, I never did find out. I don't know if that's what they used to call HO gauge.
Yeah, well, and I know when you get into the model trail, they got the gauges. This is where you need to get my boss because he's a model railroader by hobby. And I don't know if those, the train like at the zoo falls under that gauge system or a new gauge system. I don't know.
I don't know. They used to have, when I was a kid, we would go, we drove up to Durango, Colorado, and you would take a what they called a narrow gauge. And that may be what this is.
Okay.
A narrow gauge. And you take that up the mountain and would do these switchbacks and go up to Ouray.
Okay.
Colorado.
Cool.
Quite a ride. It was beautiful, right through the mountains and all that. Well, I think this gauge here is, that may be possibly what it is a narrow gauge.
Okay.
So that might be a source.
It could be, but again, till that track gets replaced, the train's going to be residing in its little garage there.
You have to keep it.
And same with the merry-go-round. The bet that we were talking last time. The blessing in disguise there is, since the merry-go-round is so old, it lacks in technologies that could easily get destroyed in water. So it's literally a matter of just, shaking the rust off, lubing up the things, and it's all mechanical.
Hit
it's just
the button
turn the wrenches
go.
and it goes.
Yeah.
So we're blessed there, but I think that's okay and operational.
Yeah, I haven't been there to see it, but as I understand it, they may actually be running.
Good deal.
The merry-go-round. Snack bar. They were trying to get the snack bar cleaned up and running too. So that would be nice. You can come in, have a Coke, and
all I'm saying is you're out there going through the zoo and you get a little parched and warm. It's kind of nice to have a place to get a soda or some chips or a snack or something, ice cream or something.
And see, there's a perfect opportunity for the friends.
Absolutely.
Just like we do at Bitter Lake.
Yeah.
The nature store is run by volunteers. Friends are volunteers. They could run a store like that.
A little zoo store in there.
And
maybe sell some plush animals. And
trinkets and whatnot, things that go along with the zoo, and a few snacks, sodas, and whatnot.
Maybe that's the direction we go here, and then that'll, in and of itself, help fund some of these other projects.
That money would go
right
back into the zoo.
Yeah. But these are the kind of ideas we need. These are the kind of, we need more bodies. We need more people to articulate whether this is the way we direct or if we find another way. But either way, the zoo needs to be resurrected, and we are at ground zero of resurrecting it right now. So please reach out if you want to get involved.
Yeah. So
that's kind of where we're at with that one too. But by the way, if the zoo's open, so this weekend you're out and about, your Memorial Day plans, go on by the zoo and go
it's free.
Picnic out there. It doesn't cost you a dime. Take the kids. They got some great, wonderful animals. Check out some of your favorites. Go play in the park out there.
There you go.
Fun.
Play in the park and then go walk through the zoo and see all the animals.
Yeah.
Say hi.
Yeah. The peacock's still around to guard the facility.
There's several of them. They got at least the one male. There may be two males, which is tough because they are territorial.
Well, and the males are the pretty ones.
Yes,
just so y'all
they're
know.
the ones that do the
one
fan.
The one that's not as colorful, that's the female.
Right. She's kind of dowdy. Yeah.
Well, and that's laws of nature. The male's got to look pretty to let the women, to impress the women.
I'm beautiful. You want good babies from
me. The women
me.
don't impress nobody. There's like, you want to come on over.
Yeah, that's right.
You ever heard the term, you got a peacock around? There you go.
There you go. That's it. That's it.
That's dudes with bright colors.
Yep.
Very good. Is there the website up and everything if people want to go there, or Facebook, or if someone wanted to get a hold of anybody?
Yes, we still have a website and Facebook.
Okay.
They can find them on Facebook.
Friends of the Spring River Zoo, something of that.
Friends of the Spring River Zoo.org.
Okay.
Is it .org? Yeah, .org. And you can look it up, and you can then
on Facebook probably type something very similar. Maybe not the .org, just the Friends of the Spring River Zoo, Roswell.
There you
that
go.
Should pop
That
right
would
up,
probably get it.
Something along those lines. Maybe tap in an NM. Although I don't think there's a Spring River Zoo in Roswell, Georgia. That would be a weird coincidence.
Not that I can.
Not saying they don't have a zoo, but it wouldn't be called Spring River Zoo.
Yeah.
Unless
I don't have that card with me. Sorry.
Oh well. But check that out. And that way you can reach a message, say, hey, I heard on the radio, I'd like to get involved. What can I do? And someone will reach back and get.
They can call me if they need to.
Yeah. And I'm sure if you do run into, like if you do go out to the zoo and run into any of the staff out there and just say, hey, how do I get there? They can get you in touch with the Friends of the Zoo and Don and these groups. And because they too would love to have you as well. And
sure.
Especially, and I imagine too is like in the summer, I imagine they're going to try to do some summer programs for the kids out there.
They're, let me see. We
Usually
were looking at a children's program.
Yeah.
Coming up this summer. Unfortunately, I don't have the details on that.
But what I mean by that is the friends oftentimes are the ones helping the staff pull
That's
that
correct.
off and do all, they
That's
kind
right.
of help. Because really the staff, they're busy running the day-to-day of the zoo, feeding the animals, tending to whatever other works are needed around the zoo there. And, of course, the paperwork side when they're done with the tending to the animals.
Another reason we need a lot more people is we need adults, because one of the thoughts that we had was taking a group of children to Carlsbad.
Oh.
To the
Desert Willow,
Willow
Sanctuary
Wildlife Sanctuary.
Which, by the way, they are an animal sanctuary for all over the state. They get injured animals. They'll come and their priority, the goal for them is to treat them and release them back into the wild.
Mm-hmm.
If the releasing them back into the wild is not a possibility, then 9 times out of 10,
they try to rehome them.
They rehome them, whether it's there at the facility or here at the Roswell Zoo or some of the other places.
Alamogordo or Clovis or something like that.
But there's a few that they just call Desert Willow their home, and they use them as educational animals and things like that and stuff too. But wonderful organization and wonderful. And it's, if I remember right, it's a young lady that runs it. Like I feel like she started it when she was like a teenager. And she's a little older now, but
she's about 3, I think.
Yeah,
she was. She's been there a while.
Yeah, but I really think she literally started this as a teenager, as her passion, and it's grown into this thing, and it's a pretty cool story if you ever hear. About it. But anyway, yes, very much partnered with the zoo here, and that'll be cool. But we do need an adult to to take the trip.
That's why we need
to the Desert Willow.
More members of the Friends group, is to have the adults. Because you've got to have so many adults for so many kids,
makes sense.
Type of thing, and we have to go through some minor training on adult-child relationships.
Yes, all the appropriate things and what's appropriate, what's not appropriate.
That's right.
You gotta learn those things before they put you out there.
So that's just kind of an option.
Yeah.
So that we can take the kids from Roswell, let them see how another facility that handles animals, especially one that's doing a rescue, and then let them come back and see this zoo and the potentials that this zoo might have.
Absolutely.
And how we can help here.
So please, we're looking for, if you love the animals, if you love what the zoo's doing or sad what you're seeing and want it to change, get involved. Roll up your sleeves and help out. It's so fun. I get it. To spew your opinions on social media and do your thing there. But if you want to fix the problem, you want to be a part of the solution and not contribute to the problem, then let's come to the meetings. Come be a friend. Come learn what you can do to help get that zoo to new glories.
Yeah, anybody can talk negative. Let's get out there and do some positive.
I'm quite good at it if you want me to.
So
very talented at it.
But
again, I say it, Don and I and several others in this community do everything, but really doesn't take all that. If we just had every citizen that's able-bodied pick their passion and get involved with it, whether it's youth sports or church or a civic organization or the zoo or the museum or homeless, whatever it is your passion is, get in that thing and support it. And if we all just pick the one thing, then I'm going to say our community would be that much better, that much
1,000%.
It would just
We've got a good base here. Roswell is a great community. But the more people that get out and do things and help, the better it's going to get.
Absolutely.
We could improve this 1,000%.
You got to have passion for it. If you want a nice community, you're going to have to make it nice.
That's right.
If you're waiting on other people to make your community nice, then you're going to be waiting a while.
That's right.
That's how a community
It doesn't
works.
just happen.
Yeah.
It's got to be people working.
Well, and I will tell you a lot of times too, when growing up in D.C. and things, and when they have like inner city stuff, and these are the bad parts. When they get rectified, is when the community within that neighborhood rolls up their sleeves and starts. That's when you see the results. It's just that, because if you're waiting on government officials or waiting on they don't have the invested interest. They don't care.
That's right.
They'll get to it when it's convenient for them to get to it. Meanwhile, that could be years or decades, and you live in generation to that.
The government officials say, well, if it's not putting money in my pocket, I don't care.
Or it doesn't get me votes.
It doesn't get me votes. I don't care.
So that's what I mean. So this is what we're talking about here. So you need to roll up your sleeves. If you want that museum all back and running, if you want the zoo nice, if you want these parks back the way they are, you need to be a part of that solution.
Ask some questions and get involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, good deal. Do we get it all done?
I think so.
All right.
Go out and volunteer. Oh, man, I got to go volunteering again.
That's right. By the way, love to, from just a quick Legion plug, Memory Lawn for Memorial Day weekend. We're going to be placing flags out Saturday morning.
Correct.
Beginning at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Ish. Maybe, get there as early as possible.
A little bit before 9.
Yeah, we want to get started early as it's going to be 102 that day. So.
Yeah, I plan on being out there about 8 o'clock.
Gotcha.
Got to make sure the things are in place.
Yeah. So if you we love to see families and kids come out and help place flags out there.
And I
do
got to
all
make
that
some
stuff.
adjustments to the big flag, the U.S. flag.
Yes.
I got to make some adjustments to that, and I need people. When you bring a flag down, you've got to have it off the ground. So you got to have people catch it. This is a big.
This is a Garrison flag. Yeah. This ain't like the little one and you put in the front of your house or nothing. It's about 10 times that.
We're going to bring it down quite a bit so that I can put some new carabiners on it to hold it in place.
Yes, and I'm trying to think. Good news is winds. Well, if in the morning it's 5 to 10, so hopefully those winds won't be whipping too bad.
Low enough that we can handle it pretty good. So the sooner we can get that done, I'm going to be out there about 8 o'clock or so. Little minor things to clean up, and then around 9 we're going to start getting people together and little talk and say hi and how we do this, how the flags go, and then we'll get started putting the flags out.
And then Monday, we will have people gathering flags, pick them back up.
Right. We'll have a ceremony.
We'll also have the ceremony that morning.
Right.
Is that at 9 as well?
Yeah, 9 o'clock for the Memorial Day ceremony on Monday. As soon as the ceremony's over and we, say, now people can go through and pick up the flags, and we'll gather them together again.
Yeah.
And
you can stick around for that or not, but we'd love for you to do that.
Sure.
Many hands make less work.
Yeah.
But that'll be Monday. So Saturday, 9 a.m. for flag distribution. And then Monday, 9 a.m. for the Memorial Day service.
Correct.
We'd love to have families come and join. And did they find a guest speaker, or is it going to be Lee?
It's going to be Charles Isla's dad.
Oh, Charles' dad's going to speak.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
I don't know his first name.
All right, Mr. Islas. I assume it's Islas.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Charles got married and took his wife's name.
I don't think he's World War II. I think he's Vietnam.
Nam? Okay.
Yeah, I think he's a Nam veteran.
Yeah, because Charles is about my age, would put his dad probably in Vietnam.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So, my brethren here.
There you go. Yeah. He's probably in the late 60s sitting in a rice paddy somewhere doing something that he didn't want to be doing.
That's right. So he's going to be our speaker there.
Awesome. That'll be great. Thank you, Don, as always, and we'll see you in a few weeks now. Not tomorrow or next.
Yeah, it'll be a while. Yeah, I'll verify that. But
cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Don, and we appreciate all you do. And there's a reason why he's in here, because he's so involved. Like I said, don't be like Don and do 30 things. Pick your one thing. And
do one thing.
We all did that one thing. And
This is really wearing me down. Doing all of these things, I'm going to have to find my one thing.
Yeah,
and concentrate. So
maybe down some downtime in sipping drinks on a beach somewhere for a week or two might help out as well.
That's what I'm going to do next month. I'm going to Greece for a week.
Perfect. Maybe that'll feed the soul and de-stress.
That's what I'm looking for.
But thank you, Don, as always.
Thank you.
All right, it is 8:44. Let's pause for news. Chaves County sports, weather. Red Apple got a commercial break as well. Don't go away.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. As a reminder, most city and county administration offices and facilities will be closed on Monday in observance of Memorial Day. Some city services in Roswell, Carlsbad, and Artesia will have adjusted schedules as well. In Roswell, the public library and the Spring River Zoo will be closed on Monday. The Roswell Museum and Adult Center also remain closed because of flood damage. The Roswell Recreation and Aquatic Center and the Nancy Lopez Golf Course at Spring River will be open on Memorial Day. Artesia General Hospital is celebrating being named one of 10 new participants in the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Rural Community Hospital Demonstration Program. The program is a national initiative aimed at strengthening rural access to health care. The Rural Community Hospital Demonstration Program supports the long-term sustainability of small rural hospitals by testing cost-based reimbursement models for Medicare inpatient services. Traditional Medicare payment systems often leave rural hospitals underfunded due to lower patient volumes and higher operating costs. This program addresses that challenge by reimbursing participating hospitals based on the actual cost of providing the care rather than a standard fixed rate. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. We talked about some state track and field results from over this past week, and we got more to tell you about. In fact, we got state champions to tell you about. From NMMI, Cohen Tomasic, a senior for the Colts, was first in the 100-meter dash. He was second in the 200-meter dash. This is Class 3A, and no doubt he was part of the winning relay, the 4x100 relay for the Demons. Miguel Garcia, first for NMMI in the 400-meter run. Sawyer Hole from the Colts, second in the javelin. And from Dexter, Alexa Miramontes, a senior, was second in the triple jump, second in the high jump, second in the long jump. Yeah, she did break through, though. In the 100-meter hurdles, she's a state champion, as is her teammate, Nalani Kobos from Dexter. She was first in the 300-meter hurdles. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. Mid to upper 90s and sunshine for today. Getting a little more hot on Friday. We'll get sunny skies and afternoon highs topping out around 100. Looks like we'll stay near 100 with sunny skies on Saturday and then sunny and low 90s on Sunday. Slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm Memorial Day will be in the mid-80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Stock averages will open as much as 2% lower on the Dow, which fell 817 points. Stocks fell because interest rates are rising, out of concern that a new tax cuts and spending bill may push interest rates higher by even more and add more to the U.S. deficit. Higher interest rates make stocks less attractive. When the government has to pay more interest to borrow money, that can also cause interest rates to rise, including for mortgages, car loans, and credit cards. All that can slow the economy and make investors less inclined to pay high prices for stocks. Demand for mortgages dropped again because of high interest rates and high home prices, too. Top gaining stocks included Alphabet after a deal for Warby Parker to make smart glasses for Google. Corning Glass and Display Technologies rose, and Bitcoin rose to a record, and some stocks tied to digital currencies rose too. Decliners included Target, where sales are down due to low consumer confidence. Amazon says, though, that they have not seen people reducing spending. And even though travel is down, AAA says even more people than a year ago plan to just get away over the Memorial Day weekend and try to spend less. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Building Bridges, That Which Unites Us, a thought-provoking new podcast hosted by Michael Hirschman, CEO of Solaviv Group.
I'm Michael Hirschman. Join me as I tackle vital national topics that affect the man on the street to the executive suite with unscripted, authentic perspectives that spark in-depth discussions with experts in the field.
Go to buildingbridges.nyc to watch episodes or download wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey Roswell, whatever you've got planned this week, cancel it, because Roswell Ford is slashing prices during our biggest Memorial Day savings event ever. These are the final days to get massive discounts with employee pricing for all. At Roswell Ford, you pay what we pay on our huge inventory of new Fords. Plus, make no payments for 90 days. Upside down in your current car, truck, or SUV and one out early, Roswell Ford can help you get out of your trade, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. So you pay what we pay today with employee pricing to all customers on new Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Worried about your credit? Don't sweat it. Our aggressive lenders will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. With massive American-made savings, employee pricing for all, and more for your trade. We'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. Get on board at Roswell Ford. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balance refinance to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
A long list of books and articles have been written on being a servant leader. Amazingly, the Bible describes a true servant leader long before any of those books or articles were ever written. The Apostle Paul writes a letter to Titus, who's working with the Christians on a little island called Crete. Paul admonishes Titus to appoint leaders for the church with the following qualities. So just listen closely. The leader is to be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to drunkenness, not violent, not pursuing dishonest gain. Instead, he's hospitable, one who loves what is good, who's self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. Isn't it amazing that following God's word not only works in your spiritual life, but in all aspects of your life? Do you want to be a leader in your church, your family, or maybe even your occupation? Then be the man or woman God calls you to be. If our world followed God's tenets of servant leadership, what a great place our world would be.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Growing things in Roswell is a battle. Your lawn's trying to turn brown, your trees are wanting to turn yellow, the weeds want to take over, and the fleas and ticks are trying to move in. So come down to Roswell Seed Company and choose your weapons. We have fertilizer to make your lawn lush and lovely, iron to keep your trees nice and green, sprays to kill the weeds, and more sprays to chase away the fleas and ticks. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. Yeah, it's a jungle out there, except it never rains.
This is a nasty little termite. It loves nothing better than to eat your house, your subfloors, your walls, around your windows, and then they swarm around taunting you.
We're eating your house. We're eating your house.
You'd like to kill them, wouldn't you? But you don't want trenches dug around your home, and you don't want holes in your foundation. That's where Dow AgroSciences and the Centricon Termite Colony Elimination System come to the rescue. The same system that protects the White House can help protect your house. An authorized operator strategically places Centricon stations around your house and then carefully monitors them for termites. If they're found, a professional inserts bait tube devices. The termites take the bait and they die.
I feel like I'm dying.
Kind of like that, only a lot more effective. In fact, Centricon is proven to eliminate the termite colony. Termites are gone with Centricon. No more colony, no more problem. Visit Centricon.com.
Call Bob Reed Pest Control today for all of Southeast New Mexico. 575-623-5344.
Bring rugged durability and high-grade performance to your home laundry room with a Maytag commercial-grade residential washer. Engineered with powerful parts, including a half-horsepower motor and dual-action agitator, it is truly built to last. Shop Bush Appliance today and bring home a powerful washer. Bush Appliance Woodworks and Installation. When it comes to cabinets, appliances, and installation, who are you going to call? Bush Appliance in Roswell. Stop by 111 West Country Club Road in Roswell or call 575-622-6390.
Got a pothole or some other issue in your neighborhood? The City of Roswell's Fix It program is your solution. This program is here for Roswell residents to help the city fix issues in your neighborhood. Concerns such as potholes, water leaks, loose manhole covers, fire hazards, abandoned vehicles, and more. To submit a Fix It form, just log on to roswell-nm.gov/form center. The city would like to thank you for your assistance. And remember, call 911 for all emergencies and call the city at 575-637-6200 for all other business.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details. 2nd and Sycamore and 1309 Southeast Main.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 8:56. Got a 3 minutes here before we get you into news here for the top of the hour. Don't forget, it is graduation weekend. It all kicks off tonight with graduations over the next 3 days here. We will be carrying those graduations for you for out-of-town friends and family at ksvptv.com. University High graduation this evening, Roswell High tomorrow, and Goddard High on Saturday. We will have all those for you. But like I said, if unfortunately, weather will not be raining, so that's not going to be an issue. But it will be hot these next 3 days, so lots of hydration. Drink plenty of fluids, whether you're walking across the stage or just in the stands celebrating your loved one's achievement. Either way, shade, I know sun hats, things like that, light clothing, probably sunscreens, lots of that if it's during the day and stuff. If it's night, obviously not so bad. But if you're out there during the day and daylight, it's going to get hot. So sunscreen up, hydrate up, all that good stuff. There's going to be a lot of excitement, a lot of stuff, and we don't want to see a bunch of people dropping like flies out there because of the heat. So lots of hydration on there. So. Also, but yeah, we'll be carrying those graduations for you here through Thursday, Friday, and Saturday here. Also, don't forget, coming up around the corner here, we're not far away, like a week. We got next week, and then right after that starts Camp Invention, which will be June 2nd through the 6th. And that's going to be, once again, at All Saints Catholic School. And this is for children entering kindergarten through 6th grade. It is a full day camp, week-long of STEM fun activities. Kids will work on things like a claw arcade, a penguin launch, a thing called In Control, where they design their own custom control panels to navigate GPS stuff. The illusion workshop, so they can learn like the secret behind magic tricks and movie magic and all that. So sign up for the camp by going to invent.org/camp, and then it's going to say find a camp invention near you. You put in Roswell, something to that effect, 88201. You'll see the one camp. You can sign up right there. If you need a partial scholarship, for the camp is $200 where is it at? I lost it here. Anyway, it's 200 and change. I can't find it right. 290. There it is. Before the, and then if you need a partial discount for that, call Peggy Bolin direct at 575-420-9955. Again, 575-420-9955, or shoot an email, pbolin2016@gmail.com. That's the letter P, BOHLIN 2016@gmail.com. You can send an email, and she will really can help you out with scholarships and things there. But sign up quick. I know that they don't have a lot of spots left, and you might want to get it done. So reach out direct, invent.org/camp, and get your child signed up today. It's well worth it. All right, it is time for Town Hall News. We'll be back on the other side.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. A single vote made the difference. House Republicans this morning passed President Trump's spending and tax cut bill on a vote of 215 to 214.
Take this as a lesson. Don't bet against the House Republicans.
House Majority Whip Tom Emmer, President Trump celebrating passage of his big, beautiful bill.
The president calls it arguably the most significant piece of legislation in American history. It includes his campaign promises, including no taxes on tip income or overtime income. It's projected the massive bill will add trillions of dollars to the nation's debt. Writing on social media, the president praises House Speaker Mike Johnson and Republican leadership for getting his major tax bill passed. It now goes to the Senate, and he's urging lawmakers there to send it to his desk as soon as possible. Greg Clugston, Washington.
Free Palestine, the phrase that witnesses say the gunman was shouting after he fatally shot 2 Israeli embassy staffers in Washington, D.C. last evening. Correspondent Nathan Elgren says it happened outside the Capitol Jewish Museum in D.C.
The suspect who was detained is 30-year-old Elias Rodriguez of Chicago. After the shooting outside the museum, he entered inside and then was detained. 2 people who were inside the museum at the time told the Associated Press that they heard at least 10 gunshots. Afterward, they saw the shooter inside the museum. He was wearing a red keffiyeh, which is a traditional Middle Eastern headdress, and while he was being detained, they told us that he shouted "Free Palestine."
Reports of multiple fatalities among those on board a private plane. It crashed this morning in San Diego's Murphy Canyon neighborhood. About 15 homes set on fire along with vehicles, and there have been evacuations. On Wall Street, the Dow is down 92 points, and NASDAQ trading 91 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals, too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Not a good day for North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un. New 5,000-ton destroyer was heavily damaged during its launching ceremony.
A stern North Korean state television newsreader tells the nation that operational carelessness was behind the accident that led to panels of the warship's hull being crushed as it headed down the slipway. An angry and presumably embarrassed North Korean leader, Kim Jong-un, called it a criminal act that could not be tolerated. The accident took place at a shipyard in the eastern port city of Chongjin. Last month, North Korea launched its first 5,000-ton destroyer, the Chohyun, by far the largest in its naval fleet.
The BBC's David Bamford. The UN says relief groups have collected humanitarian aid carried by about 90 trucks out of a total of nearly 200 that have rolled into the Gaza Strip. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Justice Department looks to cancel police reform settlements with a couple of cities.
The Justice Department has moved to cancel settlements with Minneapolis and Louisville, Kentucky that called for an overhaul of policing following the killings of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Minneapolis in January approved a consent decree with the federal government in the final days of the Biden administration to overhaul its training and use of force policies under court supervision. That agreement required approval from a federal court, but the Trump administration told the court it doesn't intend to proceed. The administration also announced it's retracting the findings of Justice Department investigations into 6 other police departments that the Biden administration had accused of civil rights violations. Ron Taylor reporting.
With a 4-4 ruling, the Supreme Court effectively ending a publicly funded Catholic charter school in Oklahoma. Justice Amy Coney Barrett did not participate. Turns out she's friends with a Notre Dame law professor who has advised the school. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Thank you, Jocelyn. She had to take over the Tres Inviernos duties for this hour. Sean is taking off his DJ cap right now to put on his dad cap. And his son's graduating from kindergarten this morning. So he's off at his son's school enjoying his son's graduation. So he'll be back in just a little bit here. But, so happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to your Thursday. Hope all of it's going well. Busy week, graduations, summer kind of kicking off for everybody. So it's kind of a busy weekend here, Memorial Day weekend coming up here. So people have lots of plans, lots of things on the horizon. So enjoy it. The weather's going to be warm. If you like 100 degrees, you've got them for today, tomorrow, and Saturday. And then by Monday, Memorial Day, we're going to be with some rain chances and cooler temps down in the 80s. But we do have a hot spell to get through. So all of that over the next 3 or 4 days here. We will, as I've been saying all show and throughout the week here, we will be carrying graduations tonight, tomorrow night, and Saturday as well for University High tonight, Roswell High tomorrow, and Goddard High School on Saturday. So we'll have all those for you at ksvptv.com. They'll have respective channels for those there. I'm going to say it like I say it. If you're here in town and you got to get out there and support your kids, but if you can't, if you're out of town, or I even get it, as a person getting up there myself, and I'm only in my 50s, but you know what I mean. I get the differences, and you become less tolerant to heat and things like that. And like, I cannot sit out there for 3 hours in the heat or whatever it is. I get it. We can have it for you on the video there. But if you can be there, get out there and root for you. This is, it's not often your kid's going to be walking across the stage, so get out there and support them. But if you do have uncles and aunts and cousins and other family and friends that don't live in the area, steer them to ksvptv.com and they can watch the graduations there. So it'll all be there at their convenience and leisure. So what else was I going to mention here too? Also, programming note, we will have a show tomorrow We will not be having a radio show on Monday for Memorial Day. We will have a CBS Memorial Day special playing in its place on Monday. Sean will be taking over on Tuesday of next week. I have a appointment in Lubbock that I got to go to. But I will be back in the chair. I'll be in tomorrow, obviously, but I won't be back in the chair until Wednesday. But no show Monday. Sean will be in the studio doing the show Tuesday, and then I'll be back on Wednesday of next week. And then there'll be a week in June, like June 9th. I'll be out of town too. I'm going to take a little vacation. My wife and I are going to do just a little road trip. We're going to go up to southern Colorado area. We're going to go to Durango and ride the trains and go do the train and go to the town and do all that. We're going to go to the cliff dwellings there, and I think it's Mesa Verde, which is not far from there. And so we're going to kind of make a couple days out of that. And I've never been to the Four Corners ever, and so on our way back, we're going to make the side route and go go check out Four Corners. And I've been close to that area, but I've never actually gone to the Four Corners and been to the Four Corners. And I've been in New Mexico for 25, going 30, but going on 30 years now. So it's about due time to go over there. So we're going to do that. So, but we'll be doing that in June here. So Sean will be running the show here during that week in June. But looking forward, I'll give you the whole stories and everything else. But everyone's talked about the train, so it's really cool. I was like, I want to do it. That'd be kind of neat and sounds kind of nice and leisure, and plus you get to see some history in Weston, kind of my wheelhouse of things I like doing. So that's we'll be doing that in June. So that's just kind of. But as far as next week goes, no show on Monday. And we will have Sean in the chair Tuesday. I'll be back on Wednesday of next week. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather here in just a few. Then after our break here, Crystal Noble will join us from the Roswell Humane Society, give us an update on pet adoptions, Memorial Day weekend, sales at the thrift store. Of course, it is going to be 100 the next couple of days. It's maybe talk a little heat and pets and all that kind of stuff, too, and what you should and shouldn't do. We shouldn't have to tell you. As a pet owner, you should kind of know, but some people need to know, so we need to tell them. So we will do that. And then, of course, later on in the hour, we'll get you up-to-date news and the local news and all the other stuff, too. Before we do any of that, though, I'll give you the official weather from the meteorologist. Here's Steve with your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather, mid to upper 90s and sunshine for today. Getting a little more hot on Friday. We'll get sunny skies and afternoon highs topping out around 100. Looks like we'll stay near 100 with sunny skies on Saturday and then sunny and low 90s on Sunday. Slight chance of an afternoon shower or thunderstorm Memorial Day will be in the mid 80s. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, it's already 70. Told you it's going to be hot here in Roswell. Humidity's at 22%. Winds out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Sunny and hot, 96 are high today. North winds at around 5 miles per hour. Clear tonight, overnight low of 61 degrees. Southeast winds at around 5 to 10. For Friday, we are looking at the century mark. Mostly sunny, hot, 100 for our high. West winds 5 to 15 miles per hour. Friday night, partly cloudy, overnight low of 63. South winds 5 to 15. Saturday, mostly sunny and hot, 102 are high on Saturday. West winds 5 to 10 early, 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Mostly sunny on Sunday as well, 96, dropping back down a little bit, more like today's temps. 96 today. Winds will be, well, they don't say anything about winds. And then beginning Sunday night and through at least midweek, we've got rain chances. A 20% Sunday night with partly cloudy skies and a high of 60. For Memorial Day, we're looking at a 20% chance of rain for the afternoon. Partly cloudy, highs in the low 80s. 80. So we're going to go from 96 on Sunday, 102 on Saturday, to 83 on Memorial Day, Monday. And then Tuesday, we're looking at a 30% chance of rain, cloudy and 83, 40% chance of rain Wednesday, cloudy and 81. So if you're hating the next 3 days, use the next 3 after that to inspire you to keep going. All right, it is 14 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a 3-minute break, and then Crystal Noble will join us here on the other side from the Roswell Humane Society. Do not go away.
A long list of books and articles have been written on being a servant leader. Amazingly, the Bible describes a true servant leader long before any of those books or articles were ever written. The Apostle Paul writes a letter to Titus, who's working with the Christians on a little island called Crete. Paul admonishes Titus to appoint leaders for the church with the following qualities. So just listen closely. The leader is to be blameless, not overbearing, not quick-tempered, not given to drunkenness, not violent, not pursuing dishonest gain. Instead, he's hospitable, one who loves what is good, who's self-controlled, upright, holy, and disciplined. Isn't it amazing that following God's word not only works in your spiritual life, but in all aspects of your life? Do you want to be a leader in your church, your family, or maybe even your occupation? Then be the man or woman God calls you to be. If our world followed God's tenets of servant leadership, what a great place our world would be.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Push it, pull it, drag it, tow it, whatever you gotta do, get your clunker to the first annual Cash for Clunkers at Roswell Nissan. This weekend only, Roswell Nissan is offering up to $5,000 towards any new vehicle, including all new 2025 Pathfinders and Armadas. So now you can trade in that old and busted for some brand new hotness. And join Roswell Nissan this Saturday, Sunday, and Memorial Monday from 11 to 2 for free barbecue and drinks, Jolly Jump for the kids, and sign up for your chance to win at Weber Grill to be given away on Memorial Day. Cash for Clunkers, on now at Roswell Nissan. 2111 West Sac.
Hi, I'm Chef Anthony Noble at the Valley Cafe located at 801 West Brasher in Roswell. We want to welcome you for dinner 5 to 8 p.m. weekdays, except Wednesday we close at 2 p.m. If you haven't tried our food yet, I hope you come try one of our dinner entrees, pasta, soups, salads, burgers, and sandwiches, and our weekly specials as well. Let me make you great dinner. Visit the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell.
Can't see us in person? Find our full menu on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges, or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 17 minutes after 9 o'clock, and joining us in the studio this morning, Crystal Noble back with us from the Roswell Humane Society. Good morning.
Good morning.
I might be a little warm over there. I know you've got some updates and things, but at the end of the day, it probably gets a little warm in the afternoons.
Swamp coolers only do so much.
I've been told they're only designed to make things 15 degrees cooler than what it outside is. So it's going to be 100 today. You do that math. 85 inside.
Yeah. So they only do so much, but they are better than nothing. And,
absolutely.
It circulates air, which is one of the big things that needs to happen.
Sure. Although I imagine probably have to fill the water bowls up a little bit more often when it gets like this.
Yeah. Surprisingly, the water evaporates, pretty quickly with, swamp coolers. Sure. Humidity.
Yeah. They don't like them.
Yeah. You would think that, the water would just sit. No, it evaporates quite a bit.
Yeah. And dogs, especially they're big dogs, when they drink and they're thirsty, they'll drain the bowl.
They will. That's why we use the big jugs.
Yeah, they will drain the bowl. Those tongues, they can suck up a lot of water. But yeah, so, and speaking of the, heat at the Humane Society, it's no different in your own lives, too, as well. So, keeping the pets in the cars, taking the pets for walks in the hottest parts of the day. Not a good idea, especially if you're going to have your dog on things like sidewalks and pavements. It's one thing if you're in the grass the whole time, but maybe take your walks late in the evening or early in the morning when the pavement's not scorching hot and not burning their paws and all that stuff too.
Just if you want to know if it's too hot for your dogs, take your shoes off and you go stand on it.
Yeah.
And
if
you walk.
Can't stand it, then your pet is going to also be equally. And yes, they have better padding than you do, but it's not good enough to prevent concrete that's been baking in 100-degree sun all day.
Right. Up and down Main Street, they have signs that if it's X amount exterior temperature, the asphalt and sidewalks are a different temperature because they absorb the heat and they hold the heat.
Yeah. You always see those videos of people literally frying eggs on the streets and things.
Yeah.
That's real. And
it is.
Your dog's paws will do the same thing if you leave them out there long enough. So that's why we don't. So avoid that time altogether, maybe, before you go to work in the mornings or when you come home after dinner and all that and the sun's kind of gone down. That's a good time to take. Or if you're just blessed enough you can go right out to a park and there's some grass, and because that's much better. But then again, limit the length of that walk because, they too, like you, are going to get dehydrated and need water and all.
Or, they have the collapsible bowls and stuff, so take water with you guys.
Yeah, you might want to.
If you plan on doing like a longer walk, if you have a dog that's very active that needs to have their energy drained, always take, the collapsible bowls and some water for them and for you.
You can get them at Petco for like $1. They're really cheap.
They are.
Probably Walmart has them too, or Target or whoever too. Yeah.
So those are going to be key things as the temperatures are starting to get hotter. This is the time of the year where we tell everybody, get your empty milk jugs, freeze them with water, and get the kiddie pull out, and then just put the jugs in the water.
Yeah.
And it'll help keep the water cool. Keep it in a shady area, too, so that way it's not in pure sun and just melting right away.
Well, and I don't care if you have to leave your dog out during the day because you're at work and things like that. You need to provide some kind of shelter for them.
Yes.
I mean, not only the water thing, but a dog house, someplace where they are not in direct sunlight, where they can actually cool off and not get overheated. Because if they're out in the sun all day, there's not enough gallons of water you can leave them out there without them having heat issues.
Right. So. And so with the new ordinances that have passed this year, the doghouse does have to be under a shaded area. So it can't, the doghouse is not, it's not shelter itself for the shade. It's got to have something to keep the sun off of it, so it's not making an oven inside there.
Unless you've got like a really nice, cool pimp with a porch and everything else that makes it all,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Some of those, they can Taj Mahal those houses out. If it's one of those, we get it. But if you just have literally the standard Snoopy dog house sitting out in the middle of the sun out there, that you need to put it on a pavilion over it or put it under a porch, or it's got to have some kind of even if you have to set up one of those dining fly tents and stake it down in front of it, that's a start at least.
It is. Yeah. And there's a lot of cost-effective ways to help make shade for the animals. They sell the shade screen. You can get it at Home Depot, Walmart, Ace Hardware, like any place that does like lawn and garden and stuff.
Sure.
Because, the shade screen is mostly for gardening to help keep, sun out of the
greenhouses. You will appreciate it as much as your pet does.
You will. Yeah. And, PVC pipes not that expensive. Shower rings are not that expensive. And you can designate, okay, here's morning shade, here's noon shade, here's afternoon shade.
Yeah.
You can make it to where it's all day shade, or you can directionalize it. And they're not that expensive to make.
Absolutely.
And you can get the different temperatures, or the different thickness where it does 15 degrees cooler, 20 degrees cooler, 30 degrees cooler. Me personally, I'd like to go to the 50 degrees cooler.
I'm about to say the thicker the better for this part of the world here.
It is, because we do get pretty hot. We've been fortunate this year to barely be cresting these nasty triple digits. But there's more to come.
Oh, yeah.
And so even though we have the cool down for a few days after, you still better to be prepared and have it on hand and have it ready. I guarantee there's going to be some
June and July temps that are going to be 1/0 this, and it's going to be for a week long and everything else. And that's when those dogs and animals out there are
And then
need
soon our night temps are going to be in the 80s. That's still too hot. Even though the sun isn't out, it's still hot.
Ideally, if you can bring your dog inside, bring your dog inside.
It is. That's the best.
By far, like, whether you have like the doggy door where they can, live in the house during the day and have the doggy door to go to the restroom or whatever out in the backyard, and if you can do something like that, that'd be, ideal probably. I was fortunate. My sissy, she a big dog can hold their bladder, so I could let her out, do her thing. I go to work. When I get home, she's beating cheeks to the door, but she was able to kind of hold it all day, and so we left her indoors because I was like, I'd rather clean up pee than have her heat out in the backyard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. My dogs are like, oh, outdoors, what?
Yeah.
But they like to be outside. They like to lay in the sun, and they like to get the warm sun.
Yeah. And she liked to run. Like she'd go out there and she'd run around a few laps and burn some energy, and I'd go play ball with her for a little bit. And then by the time I saw her all lathered up and looking pretty nasty, I was like, all right, let's go inside and cool off.
Yeah. And you're like, oh,
yeah.
I'm feeling the same way.
Yeah. Well, I'd sit under the porch and throw the ball to her, and then she'd go run around the yard and get the porch. I just stood under the porch.
Cheater.
Well, but I also trained her. Like that dog, like I would do I wouldn't release her to get the ball and kind of doing the, like her release command was okay. And I'd mess with her. And so I'd throw the ball and she'd sit there looking at me all excited. And I'd go like, Oklahoma. And she'd be like no, Okinawa. No. Okay, and then she'd go take us. We used to play that game all the time. She loved it. And so that was our fun. But we'd do that for about 10 minutes. And then she'd get really lathered up and like, all right, let's go inside.
Yeah, let's go cool off.
Yeah. But that's to be honest, that's how you should treat them. Get them out there, but be with them. Be out there, be active with them, or you let them home, give them 10 minutes out there to do with the, smell the things they want to smell and do the things they want to do.
Mark their things.
Yeah, mark their things and then come on in the house, whatever it is. But yeah, and this is the point we say it. And if you come this weekend to want to adopt a pet, please make it understand that this pet is going to be a part of your family. Please treat it as such. If you're going to get a dog for security purposes and just going to keep it in the backyard, maybe we shouldn't be getting a pet. Maybe we should be looking at other alternatives for achieving what you're trying to do.
Right, because pets are meant to be a part of the family, not outdoor statue-like things or guard dogs. When you make a pet a part of your family, they become your family,
It's
and
like a child.
They will guard you with their life.
Oh yeah, you'll get the loyalties and all that. Yes, yeah, and we say this every time. Sissy, I trained her with the game, to be polite, to sit, stay. I taught her commands, but I never trained her to be a guard dog. I just trained her to be a part of the family. And the guard dog is instinctual.
Naturally.
It comes natural. If you put the love in, it's no different than like your kids. You have a kid and you're like, I'm going to go through a wall for this kid. If you build that trust with your dog by simply just being a good parent, loving on it, letting it do its thing, and not discipline's a thing, but how to do it and how to do it the right way and all this stuff. If you establish that and do that, you don't have to have the guard dog. As soon as someone comes to that house that doesn't look like they belong there, the dog will do what the dog does, and you'll be amazed at what happens there. You'll see a different side of your dog that literally Sissy. That I swear that dog never hurt a fly. She's just loving on the floor. Kids tug on it. Don't matter. She's good to go. Moment some stranger rolled up in our house, the hair gets up. Whoa.
You're like, who are you?
And that's what you get when you treat a pet like it's part of the family.
Speaking of pets, we have a lot of large dogs.
Okay.
That are still looking for homes. All the little dogs have swooped right out the door.
Okay. So if you love the larger breeds, we got a great selection.
We do. And a lot of them have been there for a while, that are very good. They're not, and I think the majority of the reason why a lot of people are like, oh, why they've been here so long is because they're actually a large dog.
There are adult large dogs.
And a lot of people are like, oh, well, if I get a large dog, I want it as a puppy. Well, yes, but also a large dog that's an adult's already passed a lot of the chewing stages.
And to be honest, most of these pets are housebroken at that point, or easily trainable to be housebroken.
Yeah, because our larger dogs are able to go in and out. So the way our kennels are set up is in the morning they go out. We clean in the mornings, get everything reset, and then they come in, they have their breakfast, lunch, whatever, and then throughout the day, check on them, make sure they don't have any accidents. So they're used to going in and out, in and out,
dogs,
in and out.
Particularly big dogs, are very routine oriented. They will do your routine. They will do what you do. So these big dogs will adapt pretty quickly to however your lifestyle is. If you get up at a time, they're going to train to get up at the time. They're going to, when it's time to eat, they're going to, they will follow your lead on that stuff. Yes, you're going to have to, a little bit. It's like, hey, it's dinner time. This is not when I eat dinner time now. And you're like, oh, no, we'll eat dinner in an hour. Whatever it is. But they will adjust to your routine, and I'd say give it a week or so, and that dog will be fully augmented into your lifestyle and adapt to kind of do.
And a lot of people, they think the summertime is like the best time to get a pet because, they spend more time at home.
Sure.
And it is a good time, especially when, you want to do the training and all of that, and you have the extra time for it.
Time to it.
But also you want to make sure that you're kind of still doing like what your normal routine would be. So that way, when you actually transition back to your normal routine,
right,
the dog's not like, what? This isn't what we do.
Yeah.
And we do tell people, they follow your schedule. If you get up early, they're going to get up early.
Yeah.
If you sleep in late, some of them will sleep in late with you.
You make a good point. Like in our home, my wife is a school teacher. And so, they're off during the summers and things like that. And even with my 2 cats to this day, there is that bit of adjustment when she's home for 3 months and then all of a sudden not home. And now it's not a big deal, but the cats notice and they act and they do different.
They're like, hey.
And they get, like, where you been? Where you going? It's funny. You do realize that cats love you when you leave for a bit. Like they cats just can nonchalantly act like you're around and love you, and they'll accept your love. And sometimes they're like, I'll accept it, but I don't like it. You know what I mean? They kind of give you that. Go leave for a couple days. Those cats, that facade falls when you come back.
I bet.
They are up in your lap. They are with you every single place you go for the next day or two, which is awesome. I kind of like that.
It's hilarious because our dogs, like, I'll walk outside to go check the mail, come back in, and they're like, hi, where you been? And I'm like, you just saw me, but okay. I'll go outside to go feed the horse. They're looking out the window, watching me going out to feed the horse, and then I come back in. They're still like, hey, you left.
Yeah.
You left.
Start all over. Well, I think that's a move. If you give them, like, treats or do something when you get home, they ain't dumb. You went out, come back in treat time, right?
Yeah, they're like, hey.
So maybe when you do that, put it this way. Sometimes you create habits by you creating them. You do things, and next thing you know, they're doing it. But it's like, well, I did it. It's my fault,
And it's funny because one of our dogs, he is a big dog.
Yeah.
And, a big dog. And so my sister, she lets him in and out throughout the day, whenever they need to go out. As soon as I walk in the door, even if he was already outside, walked inside to greet me, I still have to go let him outside because he always got to go.
Like, do you really even go? Or you just kind of...
No, he goes when I let him out.
Okay.
But it's just funny because I can pull in the driveway and he can be in the front yard greeting me.
Right.
Come in the front door, meet me at the back door, and then I have to walk to the front door to let him back out.
But that's the life of pets. It really
is. And
it's
funny because if I come home 5 minutes early, he will wait until 5 o'clock. And then he's like, okay, it's time to go out. And I'm like, I've been home for 5 minutes. And he's like, nope, it's time now.
Yeah. Their internal clocks are amazing for animals. It doesn't matter which one.
Time change screws them up just as bad as it does us.
Yeah, it does. Yep.
Smells like water.
Is that outside?
Possibly.
I'm trying to hear. Yeah. Or do we go there? No, we're good. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know what that noise was. I was hearing this weird noise.
I can still hear it in this corner.
Okay, that's outside.
Or I wonder if they're doing outside work.
I thought that was, it was, sorry, it threw me off. It sounded like static, and I was like, did we get knocked off the radio? No, we're good. Okay, sorry about that. I just saw that and got a little nervous.
We do have a cat, an adult cat.
Okay.
Her name is Blanche. Sorry, I just drew a blank. She's short hair calico. She has 2 different color eyes. She has one green eye, one blue eye.
So she's a pretty cat, actually.
She's very beautiful.
Yeah.
And most calicos and tortoiseshells are not the love me.
No. As a tortoiseshell owner.
She is.
Cool.
She is a needy love.
Oh, so if you
want a needy kitty? She's a needy kitty.
I'm going to take a stab, probably a loner cat, too. Like, probably doesn't do well.
Well, she's only had a few litters of kittens.
Okay.
She did come from a house where there were other cats.
Okay.
And there was no issues.
Okay, because I'm just generally speaking, needy cats tend to steal all the attention. Like when you try to pet the other cat, they're like, and they go busting in like the Kool-Aid man.
she's the size of the Kool-Aid kitty. But she's very affectionate. For most tortoiseshells and calicos, you know, they're like, love me when I want love, and that's that. She's like, love me, love me, love me, love me, love me.
Mine's kind of like that but she gets overstimulated and then goes crazy and runs and tries to bite you or something. That's the tortoiseshell.
Yeah, I know. I saw.
Yeah, she loves hard, boy, but
when she loves, she loves.
Yeah, and that's yeah.
And we do have the other kittens. However, we're still working with ringworm.
Oh, okay.
So that's why they're not out of quarantine yet.
Okay.
They're of size, but I've got to get them over the ringworm before I can put them up for adoption.
So it might be a couple weeks here before they're.
They're on round 2 of week 3 for treatment, and it's a 6-week treatment. So I've got 3 weeks to go.
Okay. So here in about 3 weeks, so
there should be a slew of.
Late June, we should be open.
I'm going to say just anticipate late June, just for safety.
Just for in case there's a backwards setback or something like that. Yeah.
So just a preview. There's 2 tortoiseshell kittens,
Okay.
1 long hair, 1 short hair. There's 2 orange tabbies that are short hair.
Okay.
Then I have 2 long hair orange tabbies, a tan tabby, a solid black, 3 long hair flame point Siamese, and 2 long hair orange tabbies.
Okay.
So kitten season has hit.
I'm about to say there's quite a variety there. So, but look for.
And then we have an
an
adult mama kitty.
Okay.
She's the mama to the 4 kittens. Her name is Freckles.
Okay.
The 2 orange and the tabby and the black. She's the mama.
Did she have the babies at the shelter?
No, she didn't.
Okay.
A neighbor had contacted and said that their neighbor had moved out and left the cat, and she was pregnant.
Of course.
So she took the mama kitty in. Mama had kittens in the house, and so when kittens were weaned, she brought mama and kittens to us.
Okay.
But we're trying to get mama's milk to dry up because mama's still lactating and not
nursing.
having any babies to nurse.
Yeah.
So she had to go on some medication to draw up and stop the production of milk because we don't want her to get mastitis.
Yeah.
So she'll go up before the kittens. We just got to get her dried up and cleared up before she can go up.
Well, and this is the thing. Every single pet you adopt from the humane side, they want to make sure it's healthy.
Yes.
And everything else. We don't want to burden you with, oh, by the way, this one has to follow on with this treatment or this kind of thing. No, in theory, we want to have you adopt a pet that goes to your vet to get spayed or neutered, chipped, and then ready to enjoy life with your family. That's what we want.
You know, we're not perfect. You know, there are times where, you know,
you're not doctors. Sometimes something happens right afterwards. It just does. You know?
Yes. And, you know, if you call us and tell us, hey, you know, so-and-so we adopted and an issue happened, you know, we're more than happy to work with you and try to help you the best we can.
Sure.
Because our goal is to not adopt out an animal that is sick. We want to make sure that they are healthy and adapt into the new home perfectly, smooth transition, because that helps set a good memory for adopting.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not everybody's like that. Like we actually years ago adopted a little cat from not the Humane Society, a kill place. And she was really a sickly kitty. She was very underweight. And my wife saw her and you know what happened. Like, oh no, and adopted her, and we had her a day or two, and she just couldn't survive. She just couldn't do it. She was too little, too sickly,
But the few days you did have her, you know, she.
But my wife's heart was like, oh no, I'm gonna, you know, even if it does die, it'll die with us in a peaceful. You know, she was literally, you know, whatever time we have left with this cat, I'm gonna make it better, and that's what she did. Yeah, it was one of those.
Super Savior Kim.
But and so if you are looking for, but I'm telling you, we talk about the warnings in here and all this, but this is if you do the right environment, if you adopt the dog, cat, you treat it like a member of the family, you're going to have a very rewarding experience as a pet owner, and it will beget the next pet ownership and just create that love. So that's what the Humane Society is trying to do. So please be understanding. when they are a little stringent on wanting to see your property, when they want to make sure that you have a meet and greet, you have other animals, other dogs. Well, guess what? We're going to have a little kumbaya before we figure out whether this dog can be in your home without creating chaos.
Right, because we don't want you to get home and then the dogs just absolutely do not like each other, and then the dog has to come back to the shelter.
Absolutely.
Where we go through all of this to try to prevent them from entering back into a shelter. Now, unfortunately, there are times where, they get along in the beginning, and then over time, they're just like too dominant.
Sure.
And they don't mesh.
Things happen. Yeah.
Things happen. Things with humans, We might start working with somebody, and
divorce industry is very successful because of that. Yeah.
Yes. We, decide that, I really don't like you
Just don't
anymore.
fit.
Yeah, and those are things that unfortunately only time will tell. But we do what we do to try to keep them from having to come back to the facility.
We want to make sure these animals find their forever happy homes, and regardless of where they came from, that's the thing. And like you said, you get all the time. There's one basic, and people are awful with animals. That's just the sad, honest truth. Animals, I understand. I'm not going to have the debate of humans, animals, but to me, it's a living animal that's part of your family, and you treat it like a human, in my opinion. And not everybody agrees with that, and I understand that. That being said, I don't care if you think an animal is more or less than a human, whatever. It's not okay to just abandon an animal when you move. It's not okay to when this thing is become a inconvenience in your life, you can just dump it off in the woods or kill it or dump it at the Humane Society, for that matter. I'd much rather you do that than the choices above, but at the end of the day, shame on you. You're an adult, and if you're not willing to put this time in and understand this is a living, breathing thing that's going to give you, that's what we're trying to do here. So if you're not ready to make this animal a part of your home, go get a stuffed animal. Go find a computer robot thing, whatever. I don't care.
Get a video game.
Sims. Do something that isn't living, breathing, and is a life that impacts on it. But and so that's the point here. So because we don't want the weirdness going on, people they abandon and all that. And I know people's lives and cultures are raised this way, and I get it. You're used to ways and things, but at the end of the day, if you're not willing to treat these like just part of your kids, then don't.
Times change, and so do some things in cultures.
Yeah.
And I understand. There's working animals. Animals that help herd livestock and all of that, and then there's working dogs.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what they do. But guess what? Those animals are treated well.
They're treated like a member of the family because family works the cattle.
Yeah,
family works the livestock. Family works the farm.
They serve a role and they love it, and it gives those animals purpose, which that's what they love to do. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's the abuse, the guard dog, chaining it up in the back, not having any kind of interaction with the dog. I'm telling you right now, all those people say the dog's in the backyard because it's crazy and doesn't like people. It's your fault you didn't interact with it. It likes people because you've told it not to like people. You've trained it to not like people.
Right.
That's why it's doing that. You need to interact with it. You need to get it, build a trust. You need to love you and like you, and then it's going to start liking other people. Because right now, it thinks everyone's like you. The one that neglects it, the one that's not feeding it, the one that's just leading it to survive out in the backyard.
Yep.
Sorry, I got the soapbox.
It's okay. I got a bunch of stuff for the thrift store.
Oh, good.
So, remember we talked last time about the armoires?
Yes.
The armoires have arrived.
All right.
They are huge.
Nice.
Very nice. Like, perfect condition. They are heavy.
I'm about to say they're probably solid as all get out and going to take a team of people to move them. But once you got them in place, they're going to be beautiful.
Two of them are two pieces.
Okay.
Where you can move the two pieces.
So you get a little bit of respite moving those.
One is a one piece. And it's a beast.
Okay.
But they have them marked for $150 each.
Okay. So if you have a big room, like maybe with high ceilings, that might be a beautiful thing.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
She has a lot of furniture. She has a king-size bed frame, no mattress or box spring, just the frame. She has a dresser, a lot of end tables, 2 reclining chairs, an antique table with 6 chairs. They have that marked for $150.
Nice.
Lots
of
swim.
150? I bet if you start running numbers on that thing, and depending on the condition, you probably thousands of dollars.
Some of them probably are. Swimsuits, shorts, They're all out. Tis the season.
What, pool open Saturday? The outdoor pool at the rec center open Saturday. So get in now and get your trunks.
They do still have some jackets and hoodies, and what they're doing is all jackets, hoodies, and sweaters are half off.
Excellent.
So if you want to get some for future summer or winter, falls.
We do live in the desert, and sometimes it gets cool at night where you want a light jacket or something, even in warmer times.
Yes. Yeah. Children's books paperback books are still $5 for $1.
Okay.
If you have not been into the book room recently, it is recently stocked with fiction, nonfiction, and cookbooks.
Okay.
Up to date fiction, up to date nonfiction, and current
some
cookbooks.
modern stuff.
Some modern stuff.
Good deal.
And in honor of Memorial Day this Saturday, the entire thrift store will be half off.
Okay.
So if it's $150, it'll be $75. If it's
I was about to say the prices are uber cheap already for the value of what the products are, but to even have half that off. So if you need to stock up on clothing, wardrobe, summer,
they got a ton of it.
Shoes, they always have a great selection of shoes, books. There's things that you will always find a lot of.
Knickknacks.
Knickknacks, plenty of that stuff. But, and I'm telling you right now, this might be a good, I know kids going to college here in the fall. This weekend might be good. Hey, maybe there's a microwave or a coffee pot we can pick up for half price.
They have a lot of stuff
that they can take with them to college and all that, and it's not super expensive. So when it gets to college and gets dogged out, because that's what happens to furniture and appliances and things at college. It's college.
It is, and a lot of these kids, they're only going to get like 2 to 4 week break before they got to get on campus, get set up. So you're graduating this weekend, next weekend, and then you're making decisions on stuff, and
the
then
next
going.
phase of life starts.
Yeah.
And so if you come by this Saturday, if you got time, you can do a little shopping, pick up maybe some knickknacks that could look good for those college dorms and all that, or take advantage of it for yourself. You're like, I need a new microwave. All right, come on down. Let's get let's get one. You don't have to pay $1,000 for a new one. We can get you the same quality for 1/10 of that price.
Yeah. Camille tries to keep everything very reasonable price-wise because she knows, the majority of people that, come to shop at the thrift store are on a budget.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, we want to be appreciative of the people that are donating it and not price gouge everybody because that's not fair.
And the beauty of it is because these are through generous donations and everything. So whatever money comes in is straight profit to the cause to help the organization. So you get the advantage of paying something way underpriced at the end of the day for most of this stuff, and every single dime of it goes to pay for vet bills, for cleaning supplies, cat food, litter, dog food, toys, whatever is needed to run the day to day for the
air conditioning supplies, which I'm fixing to go finish
picking
up.
About to say, keeping things cool.
Yeah, keeping things cool.
Imagine. You have to invest in kiddie pools to maybe lay around a few of those for some of the dogs.
So we do have some of the kiddie pools. The majority of the time, the dogs just end up poking holes in them.
Well, they're toys and they go crazy and have fun with it.
But when we get huskies or long-haired dogs, they always have a kiddie pool outside in their big kennel outside. So that way, when they're outside, they can lay in it and do whatever they want.
Yeah, them dogs aren't built to be in New Mexico. That's all I'm saying. They're huskies. They're literally running Iditarods in the Arctic Circle. They're not built to be hanging out.
Their fur is completely different from summer or from our summer.
Yeah, they ain't built to be in southeast New Mexico.
No.
That's hot.
Pugs aren't even built to be here. Boxers aren't built to be here. They don't breathe well here.
Yeah, any pushed-in nose dog has really got it rough out here. It's kind of, to be honest, in all the time, it doesn't matter where they are. It's just they've been so crossbred, and now their parts aren't as functioning the way they should. That's what's going on.
They look funky.
Yeah.
I saw something not so long ago that somewhere back east, I don't remember. They were trying to figure out how to stop the smushed in face on the breeds. And so they were finally able to figure out how to correct the DNA of a dog to bring the face out, so
they have the
don't.
nasal passage. It works properly
Yes.
and everything else.
And
Yeah.
so they tried it on French bulldogs because they're one of the main
One
breeds.
of those pushed in.
And they were actually able to successfully have a litter of puppies that did not have the pushed in face.
Oh, cool. Well, I hope, for the love of God, that they do the AKC, because that's the problem. Is like, no, I don't want them pushed in because that's worth the value of the money. So I hope they you know what I mean? Because a lot of
the AKC, the way the Frenchies are supposed to look, it's not supposed to be pushed
really?
in.
Okay.
No.
I don't know
it's
enough on the
just
competition
too
side.
much breeding and staying close in lines to keep, things from not being purebred. And it's inbreeding, basically, to an extent.
Yeah, exactly. Purebred dogs are just a form of inbreeding. It really is unhealthy for the animals.
It is.
Their lifespans are much shorter. They're less intelligent animals from
And they have a whole lot of more medical problems.
And you're paying a lot for medical issues, not just spending an outrageous amount for grooming and all that stuff. That's what, to be honest, and I say this almost every time. If you're coming out this weekend to look for a new dog for your home, mutts are the best things to come to me. It could be.
And I'll tell you right now, I got a kennel full of them.
Yeah, mutts are just. Okay, it might be mostly lab or mostly whatever it is, but it's a mutt. It's got a little something else in there, and that little something else is the personalities of those dogs are generally better. They have less medical issues. They just are better, healthier pets. They're just not dealing with the issues. You can have one of these dogs for 10, 15 years and had hardly a medical issue with them. They just keep going. They're fine, and they're happy, loyal, and not dramatic for the most part either.
Right.
They don't have the drama that comes with some of these purebreds. They're humble. If that makes sense. Usually they're humble. They're humbler dogs. They just are for the most part. They're just smarter. They pick up on things. They're more appreciative. They're more. Just every aspect I've had with, with a mutt has always been. And when I see purebreds, most of them, like even poodles, or ones that are considered more friendlier breeds, they still have a thing every once in a while. They have just whatever. Mutts never have that issue. So that's my advice to you. You go. Then again, there'll be people. No, I want the King Charles Cavalier, whatever thing to have. Yeah, okay, whatever. Whatever, you gotta make your friends think you like you better or whatever it is.
The most recent one is cane corsos. That's what everybody's asking for, and no, we don't have any.
Yeah.
We don't get them in the shelter often, and typically when they do come into the shelter, one, owner is not far behind to find it.
Right.
Or two, it's got some issues, and we're trying to figure them out.
So it's kind of like a Porsche rolling in. Either people are going to know it's a Porsche and grab it, or like you said, it's the dog because of the inbreeding and everything else going on. This dog's a hot medical mess.
Yes.
That's unfortunate. So. But anyway, whatever your proclivities are, please adopt it. And here's the thing. I'll say it every time. I don't know what's going on at animal control right now as far as adoptions and stuff, but if you do not find pets that resonate with you in the Humane Society, please walk right next door to animal control. Either way, you are rescuing a pet from adopting from either facility.
And we tell you the same thing when you come into the shelter. Did you see anything there? No. Well, check animal control right behind us. They're in walking distance.
Yep.
And a lot of the times, animal control will do the same thing. If they walk through and they don't see something, they'll tell them, hey, don't forget up front to the Humane Society.
There are pet lovers over there. They love pets and stuff and want to find homes for them, too, even though their mission's a little different than yours. But at the end of the day, they want to find homes for these pets just like y'all do. So please, and I've got, like, right now I'm 50-50. My black and white is from animal control. My tortoiseshell was from the Humane Society.
Of course, your tortoiseshell, the one with attitude, comes from me. I have to give you the attitude, kitty.
To be honest, I wouldn't have it any other way. That cat is, because at the end of the day, she's so dang cool when it comes. I've never. She's loyal to the fault. She follows me everywhere. She hangs. I could get a tub and the cat's just hanging out with me. Just that's what she likes doing. You
need to get one of those wash tubs like back in the old days and just sit in the middle of the front room with a scrub brush. Yeah. And like you're watching TV, see if she gets in there with you.
She would hang out. Like she's like her partner in crime. And my wife, she, like there's certain things she does with her that won't with me and vice versa. And that's it. Trust me, don't let tortoiseshell scare you. If you put some love in that cat, you'll have an amazing
Oh, they're funny. Like either they love you or they hate you.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can mesh with them, you are in.
Yep, and that's what it is. Now, she does. She gets, like she'll come up and be, like, making out with my wife 1 minute, and then it gets too much, and she's like, and then pops her and then leaves. that's her. But I think
took it too far, Kim.
Yeah,
You
she
took it
gets
too far.
overstimulated. I think, because you can literally see, like, if you start petting her, like, she starts, like, getting the shakes and getting the, ooh, like when you touch something, you get the chills. She's doing all of that. So she's way stimulated when you do this stuff. So
it's fun.
It is fun. So, anyway, come by. As far as the hours this weekend here,
It's going to be the same as normal, Tuesday through Saturday, 10 to 12 and 1 to 4:30.
Very good.
And then the thrift stores, 10 to 4:30, Wednesday through Saturday.
Absolutely.
So new stuff was out yesterday,
The
and
Wednesdays?
they're still putting in lots of stuff out during the week too.
So if you missed the 10 o'clock club, it's all right. There's plenty of new stuff.
Yes.
Because to be honest, when the 10 o'clock club and everyone comes in and starts, emptying the shelves, we got to restock the shelves.
We
So
do.
in theory, new stuff comes as you buy it.
So the more you buy, the more new stuff comes out.
Exactly. And by the way, if you're a collector of things and you want, don't hesitate to ask the staff there to kind of be on the lookout for you.
Yeah.
They have a list of stuff. You collect, I don't know, Hummels or whatever, Coca-Cola stuff, whatever you're into.
Or
they're always on the lookout for that stuff.
Your wash machine's on the fritz,
Yeah,
and you
you're like,
think
"Man."
you're going to need to replace it soon, just say, hey.
When it comes in, let me know. I'd be interested in it.
Yeah, let me know. I'll come down. I'll get
Absolutely.
it, whatever.
Yeah. Or if you're looking for furniture or clothing, or like I said, I got a kid going to college here in a month. What can you hook me up with this, a futon, whatever, whatever you need. Put it on the radar. They'll be happy to be on the lookout for that.
Camille's always very good about, trying to help out the people as well as, people coming in saying, hey, I need this, or
Sure. Well, we got 5 minutes, but we can do it real quick. What about like volunteers this summer? Could you, like, say there's kids, high school kids that want to come and help clean shelters or
that are coming.
Whatever. Yeah.
So if they're under 18, I have to have a guardian signature.
Okay.
The guardians have to approve for them to be there. And then basically, the first couple of times of coming in, I watch you, make sure that, you're going to be okay. Because I don't want you to be in a situation that you can't handle.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to put you with an animal that's going to be way too much for you.
Well, sure. If you're not used to a bunch of barking dogs, that could be a little overwhelming.
Right. So for the first few times, I'm kind of like Mother Hubbard.
Sure.
And then, when I see exactly what you're capable of.
Sure.
And not too much or whatever.
See how you work with the animals. And some people are animal people, some people aren't. And you figure it out pretty quick, usually.
Yes. The thrift store is always looking for volunteers, too. So if you, don't mind folding clothes
Absolutely.
or hanging clothes.
If you love organizing, if you love
Yes.
sorting, if you love those kinds of activities, Camille's got probably a bevy of jobs for you.
Yes. So if, you love animals, but you don't have the emotional support to be helping them physically, you could always help at the thrift store. That helps them just as equally.
Yeah. And by the way, that's a good way if maybe you live in an apartment or live in a place where you can't have a dog or something like this, and you need your animal fix, you're going to be hanging out with a lot of them. You're going to, so if you need that is for your own mental health, feed your soul, we would love to allow that opportunity to happen.
I have a couple from the Institute that are going to be with me this summer for the Honor Society.
Cool.
Because they got to do X amount of hours a year for Honor Society. And so I got a couple of them already coming in. And
nice.
I got one this way, one that way. So
I got you. And yours is, yes, you're dealing with some waste.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, that's a pretty cool place to, if you love pet animals, I ain't going to lie. Yes, it's loud, it smells because of, various things, but you're really you're surrounded by animals that at the end of the day can't wait to be with you and want attention and love from. I don't know. It just seems like a kind of a nice place to hang out.
I'm just going to go stick Mike in a kennel with one of the big dogs. Miss Sissy, here you go.
Give me some, feed me, drink me. I would, be all right.
Bring me a Cherry Coke Zero and I'll be okay.
Slip me a burger every once in a while. Some soda would be all right. Very good. Well, did we get it all?
I think we did.
Awesome. Well, have a great Memorial Day weekend.
You too.
And we'll see you here in a couple of weeks. And everyone stay cool, stay warm. But if you need, RoswellHumane.org. Go there if you want anything to be a member, any kind of things to do with the Humane Society, you'll find that information there.
Yes.
So including becoming a member, which is a great way to support because your membership fees, again, pay for vet bills, pay for the needs of the pets.
And the membership fees are only once a year unless you do a lifetime, and then you don't have to ever pay again.
Oh, if you want to get more money, we'll be happy to take it. But it's once a year and kind of and all of it goes back.
If you want to make monetary donations, you can do that on our website as well. There's a donate button on every single page.
Absolutely, yeah, and please do that. That's what keeps those doors open. That's what allows the ability to bring these pets. The Humane Society deals with extreme family situations almost on a daily basis. So your support of it allows them to keep doing that because if they're not there, animal control can't handle it. Everyone else can't. We have too many of this. So this is a necessity, not a luxury that we've got.
Yes.
Good deal. Well, thank you as always.
Thank you.
And we'll see you in a couple weeks. It is just about 10 o'clock. That's going to do it for us. If you missed any of the part of the show, ksvptv.com. You'll find it all there in the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. I hope all of you have an amazing Memorial Day weekend. If you got kids graduating, awesome. Good luck. Don't drink and drive. Be smart out there. We'll talk to you on Tuesday. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND Roswell.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The House passes President Trump's big, beautiful bill in a marathon overnight session and now sends that bill to the Senate. Correspondent Bernie Bennett reports.
House Republicans on Thursday morning passed a sweeping bill full of President Trump's legislative priorities, marking major wins for Speaker Mike Johnson, but starting what may be a